What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
Well, first off, shout out to the fresh cut.
Yeah.
I like the new cut.
Thank you.
Can we get a little, what sparked it, man? When did you have time to get a haircut?
Hair was getting too long.
But when did you have time to get a cut, bro? Because I literally watched you golf and play multiple holes. I even learned about golf etiquette when you're at an event and you're doing your warm-up round. You do not stay in said same shirt because you will be musty. I don't want to be that version.
Right.
But I learned that because I was unaware of that before. I might have been one of those guys in the past to keep the same shirt on. I know now I'm going to be changing my shirt going forward, though. So when did you have time, bro? Like
To get a haircut?
Yeah, I like the cut, though. But
Thank you.
Yeah.
This morning. Woke up early.
Most people went out, might have had a morning walk, clear their mind, take a morning, whatever they got to do to free themselves. You went and got a haircut.
Got a fresh cut.
Respect. Out with the old and with the new?
No, it has nothing to do with the Steelers' performance or anything.
Oh, man, I'm just saying in general, man. Come on, man. Don't put me on. We ain't starting out like that. We starting out smooth. We in the good space. It's all love. It's benefit.
But I guess it could be a good analogy for what we need to do. Clean it up.
That's it.
Clean cut. On to the next. Yeah.
Still same hair. Still same head. Still same face.
Right.
Yeah.
Just got it looking better for this week and going forward.
Yeah.
My old hair, it's gone. That was last week. That was yesterday,
though, bro.
Yeah.
It's because it's so different too. Like I don't think I've ever seen you with this type of like hairstyle, but I rocks with it, bro.
No, it's been a while. You got to think too.
Have you done this in the past before? I know
mean,
you said like you had the
if
mullet
I
before.
have,
Like
I've also worn glasses.
This is also
You know
true.
what I mean? So
This is
like
also-
maybe this look without my glasses, it is probably pretty unique
I could
for
dig it
a
though,
lot of
man.
people. Yeah,
I could dig it. Like I said, I like it though, man.
Thank
It looks
you.
good on you, bro.
I try,
Yeah.
or at least my hair cutter tried, and I
Respect.
think did a good job.
No, respect. Salute the haircutter. Salute all the barbers out there and the stylists out there. I need to go see mine in a little while. It's hat season. I've transitioned until I get me a new cut. But yeah, man, all right, I did see about the Pitt game. I was going to ask you about college football. I can't even like straight face that one. I did catch the end of that.
I'm disgusted. I even put Djokovic in the same sentence as Big Ben. I'm disgusted with myself. Absolutely disgusted.
I didn't want to go there, but I was like, I definitely saw that one because I was heavy, down to the wire in my game. So yeah, man. But whew,
I think
okay.
he threw for 30% completion percentage. Somehow had 3 touchdowns, and I don't think he had a pick. It was the weirdest stat line ever.
It was crazy, bro.
And we had a chance down at the end. What I will give 5 is he's a fighter. I will say that. But it was ugly as hell. I don't know what was uglier. Pitt's offensive performance. Well, at least they put up over 20 points.
Yeah.
Or the Steelers. It was one of those weekends for Pittsburgh football.
I could definitely understand it. I felt real bad after leaving yesterday's game and I thought back about your Saturday with Pitt football. I was like, dang, this could be like a tough little back-to-back action. Because I was like, at least for me, like JMU, it got crazy at the end of that thing, baby. It got crazy. We had this like
Virginia game.
Bro, it was
They
a
won?
90-minute. Yeah, we did. It was like a 90-minute lightning weather delay.
Okay.
So it like cut the whole flow of the game off. We started out hot, was up like 17-zip at one point. Then it got to the point where they came back and took the lead. Then we have, like I said, the lightning delay right to start the fourth quarter while we're down we're down 13, I think it was to start the fourth. And it's just like, dang, what are we gonna do here? But then for the dudes to come back, get the lead, and then Deke, this is the craziness. So we got to go 80 to win it, or at least to take the lead with like 4 minutes left. We do that. Now we got to get the stops on defense. And they had a time where they were bombing us. Bro, the pass rush is elite. In the last play of the game, literally the dude smokes our corner. Wide open.
Okay.
Should have been a 50-yard bomb for a touchdown walk-off. The quarterback overthrew him.
No way.
Like, insane. The quarterback had been balling, too. He just happened to overthrow. We got out of that thing. It was crazy though, man. It was crazy. Yeah, but
Good for you. I guess JMU's national championship hopes are still alive.
we still got we were receiving votes. We were the only team in the Sun Belt to get a vote this week for the top 25. So I was like, you know what? This is 2 years in a row now. We receive votes, man. Salute the good guys over there, man.
I guess if Pitt wins out, we got a chance. But
y'all always got a chance. Y'all ACC.
if we win out, we got a
y'all
chance.
play a full ACC schedule. You know,
And we got
Sun
Notre
Belt.
Dame on the road
Right.
too. Yeah.
We Sun Belt. We just every once in a while we just want to test it just to see what that ACC tastes like. We kind of like it, but we ain't there just yet. I mean, you know, we
I
like
just
it, though.
hope this
We like it,
Dracovic
though.
dude isn't the next coming of Slovis. I thought this guy was different.
But I'm feeling what you're saying though with these quarterbacks because at JMU, yeah, baby, we got a little similar situation. Now, granted, the quarterback played well this weekend, but there were times while I was watching him play where I did not feel the best, and there was some throws that he was missing, some plays. I'm just like, last year with young Centeo, we felt great.
Yeah.
He made all these plays. He made all the right decisions. It's a little bit different this time, man, but that's what you live with when you're transferring every year, you know. We live or die in the portal right now. So far, so good. But yeah, I was definitely a little concerned with my man. I'm drawing a blank on my guy's name too. Jeez, let me pull him up so I can at least
Remember the number?
No. Come on, bro. You don't remember the number. Absolutely not, man. But this is what I do though. I go position because see, I'm on the call later in the year, so I ain't like studied all the names to know them verbatim just yet. But what I do is this: when I go to their website and I put it in quarterback to sort my positions, I get down to the Q's, and now eventually I'm gonna get there because I'm stalling right now, as you can see, because it still ain't popped up just yet. Oh my guy's name, and I feel terrible that I don't.
JMU quarterback. How about that?
Bro, I
That
should have
works?
just because the problem was it was 2 of them last week. Yeah, it was 2 of them last week, baby. So we just finally Jordan McLeod. I knew it was Jordan. I kept saying it's Tamu, and I'm like, it's not Tamu, but yes, Jordan McLeod. That was the gentleman's name. Yeah, but the week prior to that, we was rotating some dudes over there, man. But yeah, man. So shout out to the young guy Jordan, though, man. But definitely had me a little bit feeling of quarterback definitely matters even more so when you're playing these type of teams. And if you cannot be able to have a dude that can match some of that, man, you're going to be in some trouble, baby. Absolutely. My guy was good enough, though. But he definitely had me nervous,
I'll
though.
take a win.
Definitely take the win. But it's some context with that win. Like it's context with everything. And we're going to talk that context today with yesterday's game, too. But yeah, man.
We got some good comments coming in.
I like
if
that.
you don't mind.
Go for it, man. Heck yeah, let's do it.
Rex7 says, Deke looked like he about to sell me solar panels. Darnell Thornton, Deke looking like he back from basic training.
Bro, I low-key got the military vibe for you. When you walked in, you got the Levi's with the polo tee. I'm like, bro, all you needed was that little sea bag or that little fatigue backpack. If
Right.
you would have came in with that, I'm like, yup, he just got back from basic training somewhere.
Deke looked like a grown man. Put him on a Progressive commercial.
Ooh, with the beard too, bro. Like you look manly as heck.
Okay.
Yeah, like the beard with the little curl, like you look just like a man's man.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Darnell Thornton says Deke looked like he trying out for the Terminator movie.
See, yeah, like you got like a real like distinguished like yo. He look like he give good advice.
Rex7, Deke looked like he only eat unsweetened applesauce.
And he drink unsweetened sweet tea.
Deke with the Luca cut.
Let's go, bro. Let's go.
Deke looked like he founded Facebook. Deke looked like an NFL scout.
I can see the scout part.
That's pretty funny.
Put you one of them little lingers on, man. Yep.
Deke about to ask us if we know our Lord and Savior.
Can I tell you about the greatest friend of all time?
All right, I'm done. I'm done.
I like it, bro. I like it.
But yeah, went golfing this weekend up at Firestone. I told you guys about that whole situation last week on the pod. And it was a good time, man. Good time. Taking some tequilas and Hennessy's and darts out on the course and just playing golf with buddies. It was fun. Could have played better, for sure. Got a 9 on the last hole because I hit like 5 shots out of the bunker.
Oh.
But actually, I hit the ball well from like tee to green.
Yeah, okay.
Was struggling around the greens in terms of like putting on short putts,
Yeah.
getting the greens down and everything.
But
it
that
was
was
a
your
good
first time
time.
playing that course too, right?
It was a good time. I think you'd really like that course.
Yeah. Man, I'm glad you said, as a golfer to another golfer.
It's an hour
watching
and a
some
half
of your vids, man.
out from Pittsburgh.
I
hour,
kind of
45
like
minutes.
it. It appeared to be a wide fairway. not as like tight and narrow as some of the courses I'm accustomed to playing, man. I get beat up at times.
Depends. It was tight in certain spots.
It was? Okay.
Yeah, they had some tree lines.
But I say, you know how I feel when I play my Hickory Heights. I'm like, I know by the time I get to holes,
way more open than that.
4
Way
through
more open
6,
than that.
I'm losing about 20 balls. Yeah. No. I like that though, man. That's fire though.
Overall, good weekend. I'd say good weekend. Outside of my football team's results.
Respect, man.
Yeah, time with friends and family. I guess that's always going to be a
salute
good time.
Friends
but
and family. Salute the friends and family.
I wish it could have been more optimal.
I could dig
with
that.
More wins.
I could dig that. But can we go back friends and family? I want to salute that because, yes, I did get a chance to vibe out with a lot of my friends and family this weekend, man. Had my former guys, teammates in town, man. My dog Anthony Chicklow was good to vibe out with him Friday night. We posted some of the pics to the YouTube page. They saw an old guy with Yeezys on, and they were like, yo, that's an old guy with Yeezys. That's Danny Smith, the Steelers special teams coach, man. All right, he's a vibe, bro. He's part of the group, man. So it was good to see him down there, man. Some of the retired, staff and things like that. Then we get to the game. Yes, they see my dog Jay Peasy, Joey Porter before the game, man. And it was dope to talk with him, man. To just, check his temperature.
What's he saying today?
See, I ain't talked to him today. I was real strategic about our convo. I was like, I'm gonna get you before the game. I don't know, just in case. But he might be feeling good, though, because in terms of JPJ, he was straight. Just depends how you look at it. You know what I mean? He might be like, hey, man.
Well, I'm sure he's calling for his son to get out on the field a little bit more.
Hey, his son, behind the number 2 quarterback on any other roster, what JPJ is right now, it's kind of like the equivalent of that. Like, he didn't play a lot, so everybody's, like, super optimistic about him. He has a dope name, dope relation, so he isn't, like...
He didn't do anything bad.
Come on, bro.
He didn't do anything bad.
Like I said, if you're...
when I saw him out there, he actually looked good.
He made a play.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I like it. Yeah. Not enough snaps, though. I think it was 7 snaps total for him, man. But yeah, man, it was good, like I said, to catch up with young Peasy, or Big Peasy, and then see young Peasy prior to the game and stuff like that, too, man. But that was a vibe, though, man. Just, like I said, good reunion. We just wish the outcome would have been a lot better. But there's plenty of context behind why it looked like it did look. But ultimately, man, there's a lot of reasons why we still feel positive as well, man. So, if you're ready to get into it,
I'm not backing down.
If you're ready to get into it,
I've made some claims, and one game's not going to switch me up at all.
Hey, it better not. And speaking of claims, man, shout out to my man Dom, man. He's usually our behind-the-scenes guy as well. But like we said, man, he did just drop his new vid, the Turf Watch, where, we check some of the receipts because we know every week we got haters. And they be talking smack. So, granted, we know this past weekend they might be feeling real good. But y'all definitely tap in this week, man, when we see what them old... Are we calling them Browns or Elves this week? I wasn't sure in terms of how you want to refer to them boys. But either way, we know what they going to be talking, so we can't wait to see what they on, too. But yeah, Deke, man, if you ready, man, let's get after this thing, man. All right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's do it then, man. So y'all know how we start the show today, man. Go ahead, drop in the comment section where you are tuning in from, so we can get those big boy shout outs to start today's show. And don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you have not done so just yet.
Wait, is this true? Cam Heyward to the IR?
I saw somebody put it in there. I have not had a chance to confirm it.
I'll look in a little bit.
Wouldn't surprise me one way or the other, though. Just with how IR works now, you still get the ability to come back. I think it's 4 weeks you have to sit up there.
Yeah.
And we know he did leave the game twice, but permanently behind the groin. And that's a soft tissue thing, man. So it's like groins are like hamstrings are like hip flexors.
Maybe you should have played more in preseason. I'm just joking.
What?
That was the exact opposite of what I was saying.
But it's one of them things. It's like,
same with Deontay.
I look at it like this. You're danged if you do, you're danged if you don't. If you don't put them out there, you're at a higher probability of that stuff happening. You do put them out there and it happens. Now you're like, well, why did you risk it anyways? So, yeah, like I said, it's one of the ones, man. But, yeah, like I said, it would not surprise me if they did put him on IR because of it, like I said, being a groin.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. We have 2 guys out. We're paying a combined $40 million to.
And guys that we depend on. I mean, Deontay, if you think about the offense, and we'll get into it more, but he gave us one of the biggest offensive plays and then was done for the rest of the game right after that.
Yeah, he was the most open guy.
Yeah.
Like he typically is.
Mm-hmm.
And he caught every ball, which was
New
good.
Deontay,
I thought Deontay was fine. It's just unfortunate he got hurt.
Yeah.
Josiah Williams from the 540 to the 614, born in the 412. A lot of
Shout out. I was about to say, bro, shout out. I know the 540. What's the 614, though?
They are saying confirmed Cam on IR.
All right. I get it.
4 weeks.
Yep. Just like I said, man, let's be smart with it, because otherwise the issue you deal with is keeping him on the active. And now you're either going into games and he is unavailable to finish the games, which puts you in a compromising position, or you're, ultimately carrying an extra guy that's not going to be able to help you, where you could bring in maybe another wide receiver, since Deontay is going to probably miss some time with the hammy, so that's just one of them things. I'll be interested to see what they do with Deontay as well. We'll see how severe the pull was. If it was a pull, was it a tweak, grade 1, grade 2 versus 3? We talked about those very things. We've seen the difference too with Akello Witherspoon, and how that thing could be a lot more significant, or it could be the guys week to week type variety. So
someone also said Cam may be considering surgery.
Like I said, if the groin was torn, yeah, that's definitely something. But like I said, it just depends on the severity of it. I know when he initially tweaked it, he came off. But then when he went back out there, that was when we did ultimately see, it get worse for him. And that is, one of the things with Cam, because of his heart, his passion, and his toughness. Sometimes you put yourself in maybe a little bit worse position because of that, specifically with that type of injury. Just like I said, speak from experience, man. Groins are soft tissue stuff, so it's not a how tough can I be, like a bone bruise. This is, man, that muscle needs time to just rest. And if you don't allow it to rest, it's ultimately just going to continue to get worse. So, like I said, definitely unfortunate, especially for it to be the opener too, man.
I'll say a few more here.
Yeah.
John Easton, 412, Crafton, said 3 QBs, same. Oh, fire Canada now.
Well, that's his comment. All right.
Kaza 410. It's a sad day in Pittsburgh, fam.
Mm-hmm.
We also got the other Jacob, 602, Phoenix, Arizona. I'm on my lunch break, but still with y'all.
Hey, respect, man. We appreciate you being here as well. Yeah, I even thought about it. It was a sad day in Pittsburgh. The Panthers lost, Pitt Panthers. The Steelers lost. And then Dago and Deke, man, my South Fayette Lions took a L too, bro. They lost right at the end, bro. It was crazy. I said, how every squad lose, bro? Yeah, man, the little South Fayette team, man, they lost literally right at the end of the thing. It was up the whole game. Last, minute, they get a touchdown score on them, bro. Crazy.
Man.
Crazy, man. So, yeah, man, it definitely was a rough weekend. But you know what? That just means that this upcoming weekend is just going to be that much better for us. Y'all know that. Come on now. So, yeah, man, what you got for me, man? What you got, Deke?
What? Supers? Or
man, listen, I'm ready, bro. If you ready, I'm ready, man. Let's go, bro.
Or you think I have a take right off the jump?
You never know sometimes, Deke. I always like to open the floor to you on days like today.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of super chats and comments and questions that we'll be able to react to. My initial take was, yeah, bad game all around.
Mm-hmm.
Bad game all around, but it's only one game. We have 16 more of them. And I think we'll be fine. I really do. Watched it back today. Think we shot ourselves in the foot way too many times in the first half. The game flow certainly did not get in our favor because, to the 49ers' credit, they were taking advantage of our misfortunes and all the stuff that we were just giving to them. And the stuff that we weren't even taking away from them when they gave us the chance. Like Pat P almost had a pick. It was thrown right to him across the middle of the field. He called it. And then Cole Holcomb, I don't know what the hell type of angle he was trying to take on that ball that Purdy threw right across to him and was snatched out of the air. I can't remember what receiver it was, but yeah, we had some chances in the first half, not only to take it away from them, but also just to play clean football, and we couldn't do that because of penalties and us being out of position and doing stupid stuff. But yeah, we had some slips too. Deontay slipping, Pat P slipping. Like, those were two big moments, two really big moments. Yeah, I just think a lot of football left in the season. This was a bad one for us all around, but we'll be fine.
I like it. I ain't tripping on it. I look at it like this, man. We left out some opportunities. That was my thing, missed opportunities. Thought missed opportunities, and I also thought this. When we talked both teams before the game started, we talked about how we feel like we're very similar, but we felt like those players are just further along. Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and we're like, we got George Pickens and Deontay Johnson. Granted, DJ went out, but DJ and GP are still trying to prove that they can be as consistent, as dominant as we've seen Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk be since joining the NFL. We talk about Christian McCaffrey versus Najee Harris. We feel like we got a dope running back in our own self, but we're trying to have him get to the level of a Christian McCaffrey who we saw what he was capable of in the game. We talk offensive line. We feel good about our guys at times, but it's like we said, we don't have a Trent Williams. And we saw what that looked like at times in stadium. Then we flip it to the defensive side. We said, man, we felt like we had the same type of characters that they had. They got a defensive player of the year. We got a defensive player of the year. They got a guy in the secondary. We got a guy in the secondary. They feel good about their linebackers. We feel good about our linebackers. But the difference was their guys were a lot more consistent. And I felt like their role players were a lot more consistent. Whereas for us, specifically on defense, we were very inconsistent in the front seven versus the run. And I thought communication, when we started to use the multiple packages that we used, really bit us in the butt in terms of run fits and pass coverage. And that's when I look at it and I say missed opportunities, because you brought up the Pat P slip. You brought up the Pat P potential pick. You brought up the Cole Holcomb potential pick. You brought up the DJ slip. Shoot, I bring up the Kenny Pickett late throw on the slant that would have been a touchdown to DJ. That Greenlaw
I think we
was able
scored
to
though,
hit.
right? Wasn't
We
that,
did
wasn't
score.
that
We
on
did.
the one
That was
before
the move.
halftime? Yeah.
I look at the other post play to Deontay Johnson, where if Kenny just makes the throw,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like that's
That
either
one.
a big
That
play
one
or
for
a
sure.
touchdown.
Yep.
So these are all just missed opportunities. It's not the end of the world, because we don't look at those opportunities and feel like we can't generate those. We just looked at them and said we didn't capitalize on it. And that was my big takeaway. Heck, even the Christian McCaffrey 60-yard touchdown run, Levi Wallace has him hit wrapped up.
There was
chest
two guys
to chest.
there. Yeah. It
To
should have
me,
been 3 or
though,
4 yard run.
Right. Is that, oh my God, we don't have an answer for that? No. That's a missed opportunity, though. And versus a back like that, you see why it matters. Why you have to be so particular about the details. Because that missed tackle flipped the game. Think about that. That's the third play of the third quarter after we just scored in 2 minutes to bring the score within 2.
Yeah.
And now they go take it 60 on us and take the whole air out the stadium. That can't happen, man. But that's the stuff when we're talking about just the little details, and you can't miss these opportunities, a game of inches. Brandon Ayuk makes his electric jump ball catch on Pat P. Pickens makes his,
Yeah,
but
it
he's
was
out
great
of bounds.
coverage. Like
You
I
see
was
what I'm
saying this
saying?
today.
Yeah.
Out of 10 times, that's probably the one time you complete that.
Yeah.
That's
So-
probably the one time, and it
Yeah.
happened in this game. But it also happened with all the other misfortunes
Yeah.
and missed opportunities.
Absolutely,
It's just
man.
all snowball. Like
Yeah.
if one or two of them didn't happen, maybe the game would have been more
It's a
imbalanced.
different
It would
flow.
have been a
Yeah.
different flow. Exactly.
Right. But that's kind of, like I said, how I looked at it initially, man. And the last takeaway I had in terms of my initial feeling was more so just, this is a team in terms of the Niners that have played in multiple big games, multiple NFC championship games, a Super Bowl within the past 5 years. A lot of those guys have been in those games. Whereas for us, we do not have the same type of guys that have had those moments. And I felt, especially early on in that first half, that we were kind of caught off guard and surprised at the intensity that the Niners came out with and the physicality that they came out with. And that's one of them things where a team that has been in those moments, they understand last time they were on the field for real was the NFC Championship game. That's a totally different level of intensity than your last time being out there for real blood was a regular season game. And I just thought that the Niners looked like a team that had been in those type of fights and were ready to start like that. Whereas for us, we kind of warmed up to it.
Right.
You look at the last drive of this first half, though, I felt like we started to play and punch back.
It was a good drive. It's 90 plus yards.
It wasn't a, man, they're crazy, they're fast, they're strong, they're this. It was like, bro, we just like them. We could play with them. But then once they get the long running, in the third quarter, it kind of went back to, all right, maybe we need to guard it up a little bit. Maybe, all right, maybe it's not what we think it is right now. And that's the stuff, like I said, just the difference of a team that has had success and handled a lot more adversity versus for us, we're still in the learning phase. We're still growing. We're still on the uptick of it. But
this is a little heat check for us.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the end of the world. Like I said, that Niners team is a really good and complete team, and I thought Purdy also played a lot better than I was anticipating. You talk about a second-year jump. We talk about Kenny like he's the only guy that can make a second-year improvement. Purdy, I thought, definitely made a jump, but I also felt like their offense kept him in good position. He didn't have a ton of third and longs like how Kenny was facing at times. A lot of his stuff was in rhythm. A lot of his stuff when he was making his throws in terms of play action pass were throwing to open dudes for a couple of reasons, and we're going to talk about them as well. But to me, man, like I said, man, I thought Purdy definitely did some positive things out there, though, man. But
yeah, that's a great point because it felt like at times our offense was in the Stone Ages.
Yeah.
In fact, it felt like it was being called like a Mitch Trubisky Steelers offense last year.
Yeah, it got
and
to
it
the
was,
point
and it
like
was
that.
annoying. It felt like we were very predictable. It was like we have these certain personnel out there, and I'm even looking at it and saying, this is a runner, it's a PA boot.
Yeah.
And the Niners knew, or one of these jet sweeps. And the Niners knew that too.
And part of the reason why it got to that, I do feel like was because of how at points in that first half we looked shell-shocked. It's like, all right, you had the turnover, cool. Then you had the almost turnover. All right, cool. Then it's like, all right, we just go start playing it safe because we don't want this to get out of hand. I kind of looked at it like that. It still sucks that that's what it had to go to because we had these crazy high expectations. But just in the context of when you give up those plays like how they were happening and the flow at one point, it was like, bro, this is about to get out of hand in here. The way to offset that is to just take it out that guy's hands until you feel like he's settled down or until you want to just call just safer, more high percentage stuff for him.
And our defense couldn't stop the bleeding.
Right.
It wasn't good complimentary football at all.
You hit it right on the head.
Teams as well.
You hit it right on the head. No complimentary football. I thought the highlight of our special teams was kickoff return.
Ant Mac.
I
They're starting to kick away from him.
I thought he was a highlight out there.
Yeah.
But in terms of the playing, it was a little too inconsistent. We had some that were really good, some that we left a little bit more yardage to be desired out there. But
penalties on special teams too.
You can't have those, as we already know. But like I said, it was one of them ones where first opportunity, we missed some opportunities, but we also faced a team that understands how to start, how to come out the gate hot because they're accustomed to those games. It is not the end of the world for us, though.
No.
To us, it's one of those, you learn from this.
Yeah.
You learn from it.
It's just disappointing because I thought we were going to be on their level.
Oh, 100%. And I feel the same. Like, I walked out that stadium like, man, we are much better than what we showed. We have way more confidence than that. Yeah. But unfortunately, we don't get to just, oh, yeah, man, can we restart it and now we play it the right way? In the NFL, it's you get one try at it right now, man.
Because that's how I feel.
Yeah.
If we were to play them in week 2, I think
it's
it'd be a much
night and day.
different game.
Yeah.
Not saying it's a guaranteed win for us or anything, but
we have way more confidence, bro.
Yeah, and then you see how it played out in the second half. Now, granted, I'm sure they're playing a little bit softer on defense and whatnot, but
I looked into
literally
that.
they only had 10 points, and one of them came off the 65-yard McCaffrey touchdown.
So in terms of their coverage, they started to back it off midway fourth quarter. Before that, they were still playing some cool concepts. They still had their guys, and they were still playing aggressively.
Yeah, I thought moving the ball.
I thought it was like that fourth quarter around like 5, 6. It was probably like 5.5 minutes left was when I really like noticed like, all right, this is hard shell cover 4 zone like, or they're going cover 3, but it's no like they're not matching stuff. It was just real vanilla. And I was like, all right, cool. At that point, that's when I look at the garbage stuff, right? But third quarter, I did not feel like they were taking that approach. Beginning of the fourth, I didn't feel like they were taking that approach.
Yeah, so we maybe not exactly where the 49ers are at, like right now, but I think that could change in a month, 2 months, whatever it is. As I said, long season, a lot of football left.
You need adversity to learn to grow. Like I said all the time, man, it's when you have everything go perfect for you like they did this preseason.
Right, everyone's starting to talk really highly of you. And that's the thing, like, I don't know if they're watching that stuff. I'd advise them not to, but let's be real. Everyone's got a phone. Everyone has a TV on. So they're probably seeing that.
They're human.
Right,
you're aware of it. But that's also
everyone's
why
talking so good about you. Oh, you guys are going to be awesome this season.
That's why as players, we always tell them to guard against it. Don't read it. Don't get enamored with it.
One way or another.
Yeah, because they either going to tell you were the greatest team a week ago. Now we're talking about, everybody needs to get fired this week. That's media, that's fans, bro. Like, as a player, you just understand that context and you just kind of roll through it. But, yeah, you can make a case that I'm sure some of them dudes probably were feeling real good and confident because of what they had heard about them. You learn from it, though. This was an example of you can either believe your own press clippings and your own hype and think that you can just show up and teams are going, oh, my God, it's the Steelers. And you're going to get surprised like how you did yesterday. Or you can go out there and treat every single game, regardless of the opponent, as, I got to fight like my life is on the line here. Because the NFL level, and we've seen that. The way that they did that to us was how we looked against that Bills uninspired starting unit in the second game. The same way they was out there, and it's like, dang, man, we punching them in the mouth. What's this about? That's how we looked yesterday at times. But that just shows you, man, it doesn't matter how good or how far along you are in your NFL journey. It don't matter. If you don't show up and play this thing 100% balls to the wall, it's going to get bad for you out there.
Want me to hit some of these supers?
Man,
then?
let's lock in, baby.
We
Let's
got a
do
lot.
it.
Shout out to you guys.
Shout out to y'all, man. Absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot. I might miss one or two
I got you, baby. I got you.
in this bunch, but I'll do my best. We'll see if I got 100%.
I'm going to see if you got this first one. You might not have this first one,
Ramsey
bro.
Sala.
Nope, you ain't got the first one.
Okay.
All right, the first one is from 828 Style. Shout out to 828 Style, by the way. I was rocking his kicks, tagged you, shouted you out. Every single person, player, media, ref, police officer, flyover, army captain that I got to meet on the field at halftime. They loved them sneakers, man. So I appreciate your 828 Style. And it was perfect with the JMU because, you know, JMU took care of business this weekend. So I was able to flaunt, yo, we did all that. The real University of Virginia, holla. You know how that go. But 828 Style had a super chat that came in at 1:59 a.m.
Oh, wow.
today.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
Yeah. I didn't think you would.
Would it be weird if I did? What if I said, nah, I got it?
If you had that one, I'd be like, yo, Deke, where were you at last night? And how did you get my computer, bro? Because there's no way that you should have access to that at that time, bro. But 828 Style, he says this. It's 2 a.m. Monday morning. And just had to get this off my chest. We were beat like we stole something. But that's not what's eating at me. What is all the red that was in our home. The crowd was so loud for the Niners, and it hurt me to the core. 828 Style, I am glad that you said that. You are 1,000% correct. Deke, I was flabbergasted at times, man. I could not believe, and this was before the game was like over. Not only were, you know, when everybody we thought was in attendance was there, you could see red. Bro, they legitimately had the "Here we go Niners" chant going on, and it was drowning out at times. And then it got to the point where we're trying to boo them to get them to be quiet while our offense has the ball at the crib.
That's concerning.
Not to mention fourth quarter hits, beginning of the fourth quarter, Deke, and it looks like early release day, last day of school. Everybody, we're like, bro, where are y'all going? And the Niners fans were in that thing. You would have thought that it was their stadium. It looked like how we take over stadiums at the end of it. I was really upset about that as well, man. That's why my voice low key is a little tender today, because I was in the crowd, you know, trying to. Me and my little G, we was over here trying to fight the good fight. We had some of our Steeler fans around us, you know. But yeah, baby, we got to do better than that, man. So I definitely can understand where 828 Style was coming from. You can't quit on the guys just because it's adversity in freaking week 1. Like, bro, what are we doing, man? What are we doing?
That's concerning.
Yeah, what are we doing, man? Heck, the Browns been trashed for way longer than that, and we went to their game. We saw what that atmosphere was like, D.
Yeah.
So you can't give me the excuse of, man, we tired of this. We tired of, like, man, we've been dominant for how long? We just new to this. We struggling right here, part. So I'm trying to figure it out too, baby. It's crazy. But
So, I mean, for the red to get in the stadium, that means
who's
Steeler
selling
fans
their
got to be
tickets,
selling
man?
the tickets.
Yeah, who giving them up? What's
And
happening here,
then
man?
People just leaving early. That's
That happens. We get that.
Yeah,
we
well,
don't agree with it.
yeah.
That's
If I'm
new
at
to-
a game, I want to stay at a game. That's always my thing.
What am I there for, bro?
I stick through it.
What am I there for? I'm gonna go
Exactly.
sit in traffic if I leave early like that.
You stay through it.
When there's that many people leaving early, you ain't getting no advantage. Y'all
Stay
about
to
to
the
sit
end.
in traffic, bro. Come on, man. But
You know what? I did hear that too. I mean, you're not the only one that has said that.
bro, me,
Or 828 Style.
wifey, Trey Essex. Shout out to Trey. In fact, man, shout out to Trey too, man. Y'all know Trey Essex, 2-time Super Bowl champ. Did an interview with him, man, pre-game, man. So we will actually be dropping that at some point. Might do that for the upper room early access, and then everybody else afterwards. But even Trey in the section with me, man, he was like, bro, this is crazy. Like, we could not believe what was going on, man. And this wasn't Deke. This isn't week 10.
No.
Deke, this is the home opener we talking about, Deke.
Nice weather too.
Bro, it didn't even rain.
Yeah.
The home opener. Unreal.
Well, I'll be down there Monday night to try to set things right.
There it is. Let's go. Let's go then. All right. So let's keep it going then, man. Now we're good. Now we're cool.
Ramsey Sala.
Yes.
The Steelers were horrible last night. Awful from start to finish. KPA might not be it. Canada definitely not it. Moats, how's your son's football game?
Well, on a lighter note, my son's game was fire. He won. They won 33-13. Other team was talking big trash the whole game too. It was beautiful. Like, you would be surprised. I was like, y'all
stepping on logos
talking
or anything?
like that. If there was one out there, they would have. Man, we in your head. We going to the sideline, pointing to the coach. I'm like, bro, got the parents over there woofing. I was like, this is crazy. But
this isn't tackle yet, right?
No, this is flag. This is flag. But it was just crazy. But I love it though, because our squad over here, humble. They're like, nah, bro, we ain't finna talk back. We ain't barking back. Just keep playing. We up, coming back, scoring. Get up 2 score. They still talking. I'm like, bro, y'all realize y'all down now? It took to the point where like their coach at the end is like, hey, y'all need to focus. We losing by 2 scores. And they over here hollering, we in your head. We in your head. We like, huh? Like, that ain't your part, right? But that was their energy. But nah, baby boy Blake, he had a beautiful little combat catch in traffic. It was one of the ones where, for him and me, it was Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins slinging that thing. One of them beautiful plays, right? But it was like the sentimental one for Pops, because I'm like, bro, this the same pass and route that we be working. Give me the deep over. He know the route. I'm like, yo, give me the deep over. Go high point that ball, though. And I need you to 2 hands see it with your eyes, because they're going to be swatting at your hands. So to see him go up and do it the way he was supposed to, it was beautiful, man. And he was swagged up, of course. He had his little sleeve on, gloves, mouth. He's like, Dad, I need all that. I'm like, all right. Hopefully, if you're going to wear that, you're going to do something good.
Right.
So he did do something good. They won, so that game was positive. Now, in terms of the rest of this stuff, though, Ramsey, because we've been jiving. I ain't been giving you what I need to give you just yet, so let me give it to you. Kenny wasn't awful. Was he bad? Sure. To me, though, I looked at it like he was just a little unsure of himself in this game. And I wonder, when we talk moment being too big, talk about the team being rattled, I thought he was one of the guys that it really showed. In the preseason, in the last 7 games last season, the things that Kenny did that stood out were anticipating throws. He didn't have to see this guy get open. He could trust and he could throw him open, or he could put it in a position where he knew that guy would be at. And we said that's the difference between just average versus good versus elite players. Good or average players, they got to see it. They got to see you be open for, I really want to cut that thing over there. The elite guys, though, they anticipate it, man, or they're throwing you open. At times for Kenny, I thought yesterday he was waiting to physically see it be open before he was willing to put it out there. And when you're talking about the speed of the game, what's the difference? In college, sometimes you can wait to see the guy get open because those receivers and the speed of the defenders aren't as fast. So you can still get that ball out there and it's not going to be late. It's not going to be behind. At the NFL level, if you wait to see it get open, it's too late, because by the time you throw it, that window has closed. No different as a running back. If you're running that ball and you see that gap open, if you don't hit it right now, it's too late to come back to it. It's too much speed out there. So when I'm looking at Kenny, at times I felt like that was the big part. Then you get the late throws where it's just behind a little bit. I know with the Deontay Johnson, when he slipped, everybody talks about that and they try, oh man, it was interception because he slipped. You look at the placement of that pass. It doesn't matter if he slipped or not. Shavarius Ward is going up to go get that because it looked almost like a back shoulder throw for an out-breaking route. That can't happen. But that was more so, like I said, man, just what was going on right there. That's not he's not capable of it. No different than him missing the slant pass or the post to Deontay. We've seen him make that throw. We've seen him step, drive, transition away from back foot to forefoot and rip that thing like it's nothing. We've seen him make the jump ball throws. So that's why for me, it was more so I was disheartened because I'm like, dude, you know you can make these throws. We know you can make these throws. I've seen you do this practice and games. So why get in this moment, week 1, with all this hype, all this backing, and now this is when it happened. But that's why I ultimately said, man, it's week 1. And if they truly were rattled, if they truly got in there and the moment just felt a little bit too big, heck, take it on the chin. You acknowledge it, accept it, learn from it, and move on, because that offense and Kenny specifically are a lot better than what they showed. And if they make just a handful of stuff that we even talked about today, the 2 Deontay passes, stuff like that, it's like that's a whole different ball game. Just those two, it's a whole different ball game. It just feels different. The flow is different. Then you can start to run it a little bit more. It's hard to even say, man, we want to run it more.
There was even like a couple passes to Muth where Pickett and him are off.
It was just
Pickett
off.
would bring up miscommunication or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be whatever. It could be whatever. They were off.
But when you're off, and like we said, it's just simply a game of inches. So if you're slightly behind on throws, what was the first thing we saw DJ do on the little slant pay? He was like, yo, just emotion to it. It was a little low, it was a little behind me. I thought that all day that was Kenny. He was just slightly late and slightly behind on his throws, and I really thought it was because of his eyes. Him just waiting to see it versus just trusting it. And sometimes when you transition from preseason to regular season, that does happen solely because in the preseason, if you throw a pick, Deke, does it matter? No. Because man, this is preseason. It don't count. It ain't on my record. It's not on your record. It's not going to kill us, win and loss. None of that. We ain't even really trying to win. That's why we subbing dudes out. But in the regular season, when we talk about, hey, man, ball security, got to win the turnover battle. Hey, for 4 quarters, man, they hunt the ball. Now you get out here and you're thinking, man, let me make sure I don't mess this up now. Let me make sure all right, it ain't going to be on me today. And that was kind of how I felt.
And the Niners have good players. I mean, it's particularly across the middle of the field. Those linebackers, the D-line, all that. You got to tip your cap to them as well, man. Absolutely. Between Fred Warner, we know who Fred Warner is, arguably the best linebacker in football. Still can't believe he dropped the pick that hit him in the face. But still. Hufanga.
Little Troy?
Yeah.
He low-key looked just like Troy running that thing back with the pitch,
I don't
bro.
like that.
He looked just like him, bro.
Like
Holy
that.
smokes, he looked just like him, man. But those are some of the things, man. But like I said, that was how, I felt about Kenny. And then just on the other stuff, it was some of the pressure. I thought offensive line-wise, we could have been a lot better.
Too inconsistent.
Yeah, that across the board, man. Too inconsistent, bro. Too inconsistent.
Because there were times they had really good protection for Pickett. Other times it was god-awful.
Yep.
So that's kind of the story of the whole game, too, because you could talk about the Steelers secondary. There were times Steelers secondary, not bad. Steelers pass rush, not bad. But then other times just non-existent.
Yep.
Same with the linebackers getting for the run stopping.
All right.
Sometimes it was there. It's like, all right, we're starting to feel this
and
out.
There's some
and
real
then McCaffrey
context.
would bust one off.
And there's some context with it. I'm sure we'll get to it as we continue to talk about this thing. But absolutely,
I even felt
man.
that with the receivers, too.
Absolutely.
Like, they would show the replays on the TV.
Talk about it,
and
Deke.
Pickett would be back there.
Talk about it, Deke.
And everyone is covered. I'm
Talk
like, I don't know
about it,
who
Deke.
this dude's going to throw to.
Thank you, Deke. So I know it's easy to say, oh, this is all on Kenny or this is all on Matt Canada, it's all O-line. It's like, no, there were times where Call was good, O-line was good, Kenny was good, and dudes didn't win one-on-ones. The same way we look at Brandon Ayuk win his one-on-ones, the same way we looked at George Kittle at times win his one-on-ones, McCaffrey win his one-on-ones, it go on the receivers too. Everybody has to play their part in this thing. Offensive line, they got to win their one-on-ones, That's some of the stuff that, I guess, it's just across the board, man. Sometimes you just have a bad day.
It's a bad game.
I it was like, bro, it's a bad day, bro. Sometimes it's like that, man.
And it happened early, and things just snowballed. 49ers, good team. So that's what the result could potentially look like. Yeah. But, hey, I mean, if we get one of those touchdowns in the second half when we're driving, who even knows after that? It's just we missed the fourth down.
You get the TJ sagging. That's like, all right, now we're getting momentum back. We're feeling energy. But like you said, just slightly off. Not major, but just enough. If you want to hear in terms of how I would critique the Matt Canada part, I know today people are going to bring up jet sweeps. Or they're going to bring up, oh, it's so predictable. To me, that was still not an issue. I looked at just that sequence that we were just talking about in the red zone. I would have liked to have just more intentional isolation for a GP or Darnell Washington in a situation like that. When the field gets condensed, we know it's a lot harder to have guys just win one-on-ones. So if you feel like you have a size mismatch, isolate it where now I don't have to worry about what coverage they're playing. Are they zoning this? Is it man? And now, like we talked about with the move stuff, we miscommunicate. How are you seeing this? Or the other plays where it's like, y'all running back there, but they in the zone right here. They guessed right. So you're stuck. Certain stuff where it's just like, man, just put Darnell by himself over there. Make it go one-on-one jump ball. or put GP over there and make it go one-on-one.
We tried, but again, just missed.
Right, but
just missed.
They did.
Hell of a catch by Pickens there. I was like, I jumped out of my seat. I was like, wait, are you kidding me?
It was. But low-key, I was pissed because I believe it was 2 plays before that. That was the time to throw it to him. He was running a 7 route, he was running a corner route out of the slot. And that was the one where it was like, bro, this is the throw. This is the time to make it. It's way easier, way more room, just in terms of giving Pickens the ability to go up and be him. Whereas when he came back to it, it's like now you're throwing the jump ball to the front corner. It's just it's not the same amount of space for you to be one way or the other. You almost got to be perfect, like we saw with Ayuk. So
yeah. With Pickett though, real quick, agree. He was off. He was off the whole day. But what gives me hope, or what still gives me optimism, and why I'm not backing down from my takes that this dude is going to be an elite guy by the end of the season, is that everything that you just mentioned is the opposite of what we've seen from Kenny late regular season, even in the preseason. Like we were talking about Kenny being like inaccurate, not being there on his reads and stuff like that. That's not Kenny. That's not what we've come to know him to be. So you could just chalk it up. Bad game, week 1 of the regular season, playing a really good 49ers defense, and now we move on. We get to week 2, and I'm sure he's going to have a chip on his shoulder just like the rest of this team.
No, 100%. And that's the vibe that I got from Kenny, even watching him in the post-game interview. It's like, he's not trying to run from it. He's not trying to make an excuse for it. He's accountable. And that's the thing that I love. Like, sometimes that is the beauty of having a less established quarterback, is you get to see him take accountability and him receive that type of like in-house, guys calling it out, guys talking to him about it. Whereas for 7-man or guys that are elite like that tier, it's hard to talk anything like that. And as a team, it can make it a little bit challenging. Right here, there isn't going to be any, well, why didn't this guy get talked to? Or why does he get talked to? Or why does that versus that? You don't have to worry about that, because Kenny is still going to be heavily a part of them dudes having to be held accountable as well, man. So in this sense, it is a benefit for us as well where he's at right now, man. But like I said, it's one game, bro. It's one game.
It's one game. It just sucks that this is the only thing we have right now for the regular season.
Absolutely.
Week 1, we don't have any other games for 2023.
All the naysayers are loving it.
That's all they have.
And they are
that's
and
all
to
they have
them,
right now.
This has confirmed and validated everything that they felt. And for the dudes that are supporting it, you're like, bro, this is really, I don't have any ammo right now because this is what you're going to go off of. But like I said, man, if you look at the context of it, like we're talking about, there is a lot to feel still positive about. But at the same time, we're not going to sit here and act like the guys don't have to play better. They have to play better. If you're still missing these same throws 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, that's a different convo. If we're still talking about run fits, not lack of physicality, just lack of consistent execution. If we're talking about that a couple weeks from now, it's like, bro, this is who you are. But for right now, this is the benefit of the doubt. You say, based on what we've seen, this is the outlier right now. This is the one small game sample size.
Yeah, I'm not going to write off everything I saw from last year with Pick. I mean, you want to talk about tight window throws and accuracy. That's what the dude was doing in very clutch situations.
We saw him
tight window throws, accuracy. Saw it all preseason. Heard about it all in training camp. He's getting better and better.
Connor Heyward caught game. Think about Connor Heyward versus Baltimore. The 2-man running up the seam, the linebacker inside. Kenny throws it on the rope. Connor catches it, right? That's the exact same throw and catch that we saw him make, but then that was the play that yesterday got picked. It's literally the same throw we've seen him make. One, he just had a little bit more air to get over top. That one, he came in a little bit flatter, and Fred made a heck of a play going up and getting it, man.
And that was probably he was just forcing it at that point, because I think that was on
late.
1st and 10, and he even admitted,
but it was late in the game though.
Yeah, was forcing. Yeah, because we had to do it at some point. I just wish those type of throws would have been to Pickens a little bit more.
I agree.
Like at that point, come on, let's just chuck it off to him and see if he could do something spectacular.
But this was the part for me with the Pickens part. Why wasn't he targeting him? Because it wasn't as if Pickens isn't out there, he's not running around, and that goes back to the part of, how safe were you trying to be out there? Remember we talked 50-50 balls? I wonder, after he threw that first one up to DJ slips, it was picked. Even though, like I said, I thought the throw wasn't Kenny's best throw. I thought it was still late and inside.
Perhaps a bad decision. But like if DJ doesn't slip, he maybe get hands on it or something.
Right. I wonder, does that keep his confidence where he's willing to take some of those shots out there to GP? Whereas after that happens, and you're in this game and they score as well. It's not like we did
we
that
get
got to
down double
stop.
digits.
It's like, bro, you in that stadium like, all right, bro, I ain't got time to be just taking these chances to you right now, GP. I got to make sure that we don't get ran up out of here, because if that gets picked, because we know Ward is still a good player, now we really got another issue on our hands. So now let's kind of dial it back a little bit. We can't be as aggressive right now. And
he did take a shot to the middle of the game. Like that was, it was probably like a 40, 50-yard pass. Overthrew him. It looked like Pickens was slow. There was just a weird timing thing there.
It wasn't open. And I thought it was a different style of route. Typically for Pickens, staying close to the sideline vertical is his game. That one was a little bit stemmed and then vertical, but Ward did a good job getting hands on him. And what have we talked about with Pickens? Not a lot of separation. In that vein right there, the way that DB was able to stay on top of the route without the separation, it really hindered him from even being in position to go up and do anything acrobatic. And then you kind of get the overthrow as well. Like I said, I don't think it would have truly been an overthrow if Pickens is full release and he's able to go. But because the DB was able to jam up the way that he did, it really just threw the timing of everything off to me, man. Oh, shout out to A2A Style. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'll read that.
Hey, salute you, A2A Style. I don't know if you heard me when I was talking about you earlier today, but I was talking about you earlier, man. Salute you, man, because everybody love them shoes, man. They love your kicks. I had them on. I can't wait to wear them again, man. It was fire. Absolutely.
A2A Style, I was a Steeler fan since 72 and through the 80s when they were terrible and still represented. If you see me, I'm a Steelers attire, $365 a year. But Steelers fans are different now. No way fans would sell their tickets in the 80s when we were bad. Now it's, what have you done for me lately?
Man, you bring up a good point.
And I think Steeler fans are just spoiled too, though.
We've talked about that. We've definitely talked about that. But rightfully so in terms of some of the spoiling. You know, we take pride in being able to spoil our people. I like to spoil my lady, so I'm glad we've been able to spoil as many fans.
We had the GOAT at quarterback for the last 18 years.
Come on, baby. So yes.
Super Bowls,
so yes. That is a part of it. And we are.
It was just second nature. You just start a season, we have Big Ben at quarterback. Yeah, we're in contention.
And think about how conditioned we are that we always swear that whoever our quarterback is just like 7 right now. Could come on and do everything. And we're like, bro, you know, that was a Hall of Famer. First ballot type. We put that on Kenny at times. Flirt is like, bro, you know what that is? That don't just walk around. That's not what you just find every single year, just wherever, whenever, however. No, that's a little different. Hopefully, though, for Kenny, he can continue to grow and continue to emerge to get to that, to either validate, you know, or make us feel better about our situation right now. But I do feel like that is part of it. Then when you talk about the spoiling, man, the expectations are crazy. If this is any other team. But for us, this is how we live. So
yeah, and I think what we have right now, obviously, Ben retired, #sabotage. But we still got Tomlin, and I still got faith in him as being a good coach. And I think we have one of our best rosters, like up and down. We've had in a little bit. Now, obviously, we had Ben as a franchise quarterback to take care of some roster deficiencies. Mm-hmm. But now I'm talking like O-line, receivers, all this stuff. Now, I guess it didn't look that good yesterday, but I still stand by everything I've been talking about this whole offseason. I thought we had a really good draft. I thought we signed good free agencies. Thought we had good momentum coming from last regular season. Preseason obviously looked awesome. So this one game isn't going to stop me, man. I still think the formula's all there.
I'm with you, bro. And it's not just one game. We're talking about one game week 1.
Week 1. Yeah, exactly, too.
That's my whole, it's week 1. They can come out here, shoot, week 5 and go on a run, and we're not going to be hollering about, oh, my God, man, we can't believe this team because they're so terrible.
It's so feasible we'll be 3-1 at the end of September.
There you have it.
Beat the Browns at home Monday Night Football. Raiders on the road. They didn't look that impressive. Got the dub against the Broncos, but they only put up like 17 points.
Jimmy G put some respect on him, bro.
How'd that game end? Because I saw they were down.
Jimmy G put some respect on him.
Did he put a little 2-minute drill together? I need to check it out for myself. I don't know if I can take your word for it.
Put respect on Jimmy and put respect on Kirk as well.
I can't do that.
Kirk with 0 running game. Did you see the interception too?
No.
It was a touchdown.
I did not.
The dude literally has it in his hands.
I just saw his box score and the Vikings got an L. I said typical Kirk.
The receiver, the tight end has the ball in his hands and the dude just takes it from him. You can't make this up. That was his turnover, bro. Kirk was cooking.
I saw some of the highlights from earlier in the game.
You saw your boy Jordan got a touchdown because of him too.
I saw that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But have 0 running game, bro. 0 running game.
So it's all on Kirk.
He went crazy, but 0 running game, bro. 0.
Tua was the one that really did me in yesterday.
Oh yeah, they talking about Tua. Is he the best quarterback in the league right now? I said,
That's the one that really did me in.
Yeah.
Because I had people chirping me.
That was tough, bro. That was tough.
I had that
was tough.
Oof.
I felt worse about
my football
Tua.
world got flipped a little bit yesterday.
It felt worse for Tua to be the one to ball out and Burrow, Lamar, Deshaun, and all the other quarterbacks. It's like, I'm just like, ew, Tua did that? How did Tua
I wish
go
the
for
Ravens
400?
were able to get a loss on that too.
Yeah, like
they were saying what was Lamar's final stat line wasn't terrible, but they're saying his QBR was worst out of all the AFC North quarterbacks.
It was like 16 of 20 something for like a $160 or $180 and a pick. Then he had like 64 yards rushing. It wasn't nothing crazy. It was just, but they said
I didn't see any of it
because Cleveland had the weather game. Cleveland and Cincy, they were in the bad weather. Baltimore, I don't really know, but apparently they just didn't look good. I haven't had a chance to go back and watch them just yet.
Yeah, that's what everyone like. Pickett had the second best QBR.
Yeah.
Out of all the AFC North quarterbacks in week 1.
It was.
So there's
was
some
a
context for
crazy
people
situation,
that
man.
think it's the end of the world.
Yeah, it's 1 week, man.
I get that Burrow and Lamar are a little bit more proven,
Yeah.
but still, I mean,
it's 1 week though.
Burrow threw 82 yards, and I was even just thinking this, like to get off the Burrow comparisons with Pickett. Trevor Lawrence last year. Don't you remember? Started off hot. I made the claim. I think he's already up there, top 10. Dude, he went on a terrible stretch of like 3, 4, 5 games, and he looked bad. Where I even revoked my initial take.
Yeah. Then he got hot into the season, and he had the playoff game against Herbert.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, man. It's just way too early to be making these bold calls about
week 1, baby.
Pickett's not him. He's not going to be the guy. Fire Tomlin, fire Canada, all that stuff. Yeah. It's too early. Way too early. It's ridiculous. Can we make it through a month?
Shoot, what about Justin Fields? He another
one.
Yeah,
well, actually, the last game of the
it.
month. Well, I don't know, dude.
What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't think he's got it, man. we've had a lot more with him. This is is this his 3rd year? We've had a lot more with him. Unless you want to say the Bears, the team around him suck.
I didn't watch the game. I just saw the memes. They like, bro, how is he not a running back? Then they was like, oh, he's working under storm motion. It's like, I lied. It was like, yo, what's going on? Like, I didn't see it. Was it as bad as they tried to make it sound? I look at the Jordan Love. I'm like, is
I had
Jordan
the game
Love
on
like
in the back.
that?
No, I had the game on in the back, and I didn't really get to see too many Bears offensive drives.
Okay.
I thought Love looked decent, though.
That's what they were saying. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to see it, man.
But no, Fields, I don't know if he's that good or not, to be honest. I don't. Unless, again, if you want to say the Bears, like his team around him is bad, because, I don't think Claypool did anything, of course.
How Edmonds look on defense? Tremaine,
I don't know.
Terrell.
I didn't watch it. Like I said, I had it on in the background, caught a couple drives, and they were mainly Packers drives.
Yeah. By the time, like I said, because I was down at the game, bro, by the time I got back, I think I caught the tail end of... Who was the other one? Oh, my goodness. What was the other 4 o'clock game? Oh, my goodness. Because Cowboys had the night one. Patriots. That's what I was watching. Yeah. I caught the Patriots game at the end of that. Yeah.
That was close.
Yeah. It wasn't good, though. But I like the ending. I ain't tripping on it.
Right, I'm fine with any NFC team beating an AFC team.
team
Whatever helps the
dub.
Steelers down the stretch. That's what I want. And unfortunately, with Lamar's bad game, I wish they would have got the loss against the Texans. But again, to my point, we play the Texans 4th game of the season. So that's an easy path to 3-1.
Yeah.
Browns Monday night. Not easy, but you got to play the games and stuff. But you could realistically
in terms
see
of it, it's
we're 3-1 at the top of the division end of September.
Correct. Yeah.
Texans bad, Raiders middle of the road team, Browns at home Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Those could definitely be wins.
Yeah. Because like I said, even though the Browns won, they still, I know defensively they said they played well, but
was Burrow
they
really
said,
that bad?
Right.
Yeah.
Like I have not seen it, but they just said the weather was not what it was supposed to be. So I don't know what it looked like. I do feel like though, man, if a dude takes a month away while he's rehabbing, like we talked about,
and
no different than last year.
Us.
You're going to be struggling as much as people love to act like, we just show up and we don't have to practice and all that other stuff and it's just going to click and work. It's like, no, you got to be true to this game. If you cheat the game going to get you. You can't cheat this game, baby. You can't do it. And I just think that those were some of those examples. Now, Burrow is a heck of a player. I do think he bounced back. I don't know if it's going to be electric 300 yards next week, But if you think about a year ago, it took him about 3 games to get it going.
Yeah.
He struggled versus us, struggled versus Dallas, and then that's when he started to turn it around.
Right. Andre the First. I'm not going to hit panic yet. I think a big chunk of our mistakes are fixable. The guys need a lot more chemistry to get on the same page. Shout out Darnell Washington. Yeah, I just thought that chemistry was there. I thought we had it there, and yeah, I think there's just some more kinks to work out.
No, you're 1,000% right, man. In terms of shouting out Darnell Washington as well, man. I thought that he looked good at times. In terms of his
How about
blocking.
that pancake?
Yeah, it looked good, man. I liked it. I definitely liked it, man. It was good to see. He didn't even get a target in terms of route running or in terms of when he was running his route, stuff like that. Like I said, wasn't big surprised in terms of in between the 20s. I just wish in the red zone we would have been just a little bit more intentional about, trying to just utilize the size, man. See what you can get, man. Maybe draw a flag, anything out there. But as a whole, man, I thought Darnell was straight though.
Yeah, I like your call about featuring him or Pickens in the red zone.
Yeah, because it's just, like I said, a different way to attack defenses. When you get inside the 20, the fear of you running by me goes away. So
it's all about spacing.
So coordinators call calls to reflect that. And sometimes it's like, you think about even the Chiefs when you watch them in the red zone, how wacky they get with some of their pre-snap or post-snap lateral stuff.
Yeah.
Because the field's so condensed. It's like you got to trick defenders almost, to get it off like that. But if you just simply say, man, put that guy over here by himself, our rules defensively make it where we can't cheat that. We can't do anything to help that guy. Even if it's zone, it doesn't matter because of the formation. And that's some of the stuff, like I said, I just think that I would like to see us add in those situations right there.
Right. Alex J., how many games can Kenny Canada do us like this before we call for a replacement?
I mean, realistically, if this is how it looks after 5 games, man, both of those dudes, we're going to be hollering about replacements and legitimately, feel that way. At times, I feel like, we've said that in the past about either one of those guys in terms of fans and media, more so just out of irration, right? Regardless of if you feel like he's there or not, the sample size has been far too small to have a hard stance like that. But when you're talking about him being the starter out the gate and both of those guys being paired together, and we talking about what we saw at the end of last season, this preseason, and then 5 weeks of this season, if it looks like how it looks Sunday, yeah, that's a major issue. But the reason why we ultimately kept Matt Canada, the reason why we didn't go out here and try to draft or pay for a quarterback this free agency is because we do feel like those guys are capable. And they're banking on yesterday being an outlier, being the one-off. If we've seen them now 7 games plus 3 preseason, so out of the 10, now this makes 11 games, we feeling like, all right, or internally they might be feeling like, man, we done had 10 dope performances, and this is the first one that we've had drop off in a minute.
It just so happened to be week 1.
Because of how it timed out. But
I don't think we look like that
Yeah.
if we make the playoffs last year. If you were going to talk about a game that mattered and we made the playoffs, and our next one being, I guess, against the Bills, I think we would have carried that momentum. But since you have this big layoff in between, that is the off season.
Yeah.
Now we had stuff that made us believe that it wasn't going to be this way in week 1 because of all the chemistry and all the good training camp reports, the preseason games.
And,
it still is regular season. It is different.
And even with that, man, sometimes
I thought we were going to be there.
Well, and I'll say this, man. Sometimes the way that we view that context is a little bit different than, if we were outside of this situation. And part of that's because we are so invested, right? So when we see dudes play well in training camp and in preseason, we do weight that a little bit more because of our personal feelings towards the team. But that context can get us in trouble at times because it still is just preseason. And that's league-wide, man. So, like I said, man, it's a learning experience, man. But that's ultimately how I look at it, man. If we 5 weeks into this thing and it's still looking like that, then, now you start pushing buttons and figuring out where we going, Are we tanking? Or are we going to, try to make a big switch at quarterback and all this other stuff? So, But that's a doomsday. That's a worst case scenario. That is something that I don't even think about right now, man, realistically. Because I do believe that what I've been seeing from this group is more valid than what we saw yesterday.
Yeah. Everything that has happened over the last 9 months isn't all for naught.
Yeah.
We got Steeler Nation on fire. I'd rather the Steelers have this ugly now than later.
Yeah, 1,000%, man, because you learn from it. I know when we were here, man, we had multiple times where we had ugly losses or times where we felt like we were on an ugly stretch. But then you take those moments and you learn from them. You don't seek comfort. You don't point fingers. You don't try to create a narrative of, oh, it's all exclusively on this guy. There is zero about yesterday's game that says, oh, everything is exclusively on this guy. If you think that yesterday's performance was exclusively on one player,
pretty much on everyone but TJ.
All right, if you try to put that on one player, man, you have your mind already made up on something, and that is ultimately not how you grow and get better in this situation here. Like you said, outside of TJ, and shout out to TJ.
I thought
too,
Highsmith
man.
played all right. I think he played good in the run game.
This is my only thing with Highsmith. With number one, I already knew what the matchup was. I just feel like if you allow yourself to look at the contract that he has, and based on some of the pressure or lack at times, you might look at him and say, I need more from you because I'm paying you now to be a force multiplier, not just good versus the run. And that was, like I said, one of the things, if you just looked at him getting the contract part.
Sure.
I looked at it as, this is Trent Williams. Like I talked about, arguably the best tackle his generation between him, Tyron Smith, because he caught the end of Joe Thomas's tenure. It's like, yo, this is a dog. He's not some dude that you just gonna go out here and just beat just because we feel good about Highsmith. It's like, yo, this dude can do it. I do feel like Highsmith did have some success at times.
I was gonna say, did we get a holding call on
We
him?
did. I was about to say we had some success at times, but the difference is the consistency of said success. You think about how much success Trent had in that matchup, it felt like a landslide at times in terms of the real significant plays. Guys making plays in run game, yes, it matters, but what is the context of it?
It felt like such a breath of fresh air, though, anytime
did,
Highsmith would make the
100%,
tackle
bro.
because
'Cause
McCaffrey
nobody
was
else
able to get
Seriously,
stuff past
man.
the line of scrimmage
So it's like,
too often.
Yeah, if I'm just looking at Highsmith as Highsmith is who I've been viewing him as, bro, heck yeah. I thought that he was fine. I love the energy that he brought. Anytime he got double teams or combo blocks with tight ends, he kicked their tail. And that's when you saw him make some of them tackles you're talking about. When they put them tight ends on him, he won't play in that. And that's how it's supposed to be. But like I said, if you're looking at it from just you're compensated to be a force multiplier. Minka Fitzpatrick, another guy, right? Minka, if we're talking about did Minka have a good game? Sure. But in terms of...
It wasn't a Minka game.
Right. And why is that? Because what we expect and what he's compensated to be. You're not compensated to just be a good player. You're compensated to be a force multiplier. That's your issue with Kirk Cousins. They pay him like he's a force multiplier when he's just a good player.
Well, now these QB contracts are getting so ridiculous.
Bro,
his contract is kind of middle of the road.
Burrow,
he's $20 million less than these top dudes right now. I think isn't he like 33 million?
Now he is, but that's literally because they just reset the market this offseason.
Yeah.
So I can't expect you to change your whole stance on him this offseason just yet. It's gonna take some time.
Yeah.
But you say he's a bargain, right? It's $20 million
I can't
deal,
say
bro.
that.
It's a bargain deal.
I can't say
it's
that.
a bargain deal. You just said it yourself. How much Burrow get, man? 60? Come on, bro. Kirk's on crumbs over there, man.
I can't say that.
Kirk is over here on food stamps, man. Chill out, man.
This was just a tough week one for my football world and just what I believe in football. You know what I mean? This was just a tough one.
Oh, boy.
Kirk's out here throwing for 340. Now, they did get the loss. That's what I always talk about Kirk doing. Like, he could put up stats, but ultimately lost. I didn't see the play. That's the funny part. Bro. I just assumed. I saw the box score, saw Kirk put up the stats. I was like, yep, garbage stats.
I'm like, this has nothing to do with Kirk, but yeah, 0 running game for Kirk right now, bro.
And then Tua throwing for 400. That was tough.
I don't know what the Chargers is on though, bro. You playing Tyreek manned up, like, yo, let's see if my guy better than your guy. Good luck. I think you're stupid though, personally.
Doesn't surprise me. Chargers with bad coaching.
Hello.
It's kind of been a theme recently. Kind of been a theme throughout their whole franchise, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Herbert, I don't think it's the best of help with Brandon Staley. I think we're on, is this Jay Swizzle?
Yes, it is. Shout out to Jay Swizzle, by the way.
Who's ready for week 1, Monday night?
I am. Just change it up, man. It'd be week 1 for us, man. We ain't tripping. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, maybe he did that on purpose.
Maybe just reset button.
Yeah, that was week 0.
Yeah.
Tito, good vibes. We need the good vibes. Sup, Steeler Nation.
Big facts, and that's what we ultimately trying to provide with y'all, man. Is there context? 100%. Is there some things that we got to put our face in and be like, you know what, this wasn't the best? Absolutely. But at the same time, man, we are sending that good energy because there's plenty of not so good energy out there. We just don't want to be a part of that congregation. That's all, baby. We over here having a good time.
I'm telling it like it is, too. I mean, it's not, I don't think it's just like false positivity out here either. I think there's definitely reasons. And as we just talked about within the game and how the game went and how we shot ourselves in the foot so many times, it's like, are we going to keep doing that? Right. I don't think so. My money's on us not.
I don't think we will either. I don't anticipate the throws that were missed being missed again. I don't anticipate some of the tackles that were being missed on defense being missed again. I do want to see some stuff cleaned up schematically on the defense side. And like I said, we're going to get to that, I'm sure, at some point today. But as a whole, man, I still feel good about this squad going forward, man.
Skydiving heck, I'm tired of Presley, bro. 34-yard punt after the shit first drive compiled, and Dan Moore at right tackle will be a nightmare. Training staff making me mad.
So in terms
Chooks
of
got a concussion, that's what it was, right?
Yeah, so I didn't realize that till today. I saw him
I didn't
get
even know
wobbly
Broderick
in the
Jones
game.
played.
Yeah, I saw him get wobbly in the game.
Those
Like,
last couple plays.
Man, it's kind of crazy. But in terms of Presley, it's some stuff by design, some stuff he just missed on. We talk about across the board, everybody having to play better. I know he had one that was supposed to be like in the 10, but you could tell he kind of choked up on it and it barely was in the 20. It's like, have I seen him put that ball in the 10 before? Absolutely. But man, apparently this was something that all the dudes was dealing with, or multiple dudes were dealing with, in terms of just that week one. It looked like the jitters got to them dudes, man. Like I said, it's not the end of the world, though, with Presley. I've seen Presley be consistent. I've seen Presley do what we need him to do. Every punt isn't designed to be a booming punt, specifically knowing Danny Smith, the special teams coach here, and what he wants his guys to execute. It's more about the position of the punt, the location of it, outside the numbers, hang time, than it is about distance. Because sometimes with that distance, you do put yourself in a compromising position. So that's some of the context. But yeah, Presley still needed to be more consistent in certain areas. Dan Moore at right tackle being a nightmare. I don't 100% agree with that. But at the same time, Dan Moore has been playing left tackle 4 years at Texas A&M and the previous 2 seasons here in Pittsburgh. So is it out of the ramifications to just think that, yeah, he could struggle in transitioning? Because the footwork is drastically different. The style of calls or the way the plays are designed at right tackle is just a different look traditionally compared to what you got at left tackle, just because your quarterbacks are right-handed. So with that, I'm not tripping on Dan Moore. Do you think it's ideal? Absolutely not, because he's a left tackle. At least that's what he's been showing. But if Chooks is going to miss time with a concussion, this is what you got to account for. We didn't have this adversity last season.
Or we put Broderick at right tackle.
Right. The rookie. So either way, you're going to have some things that are question marks. That's a part of the game, though, right? We said the past 2 years, we've had the same starting group, right? In terms of the O-line, not missing snaps. Now, it's not been the exact same personnel, but
right,
in terms
this is the
of
first time.
Yeah, but in terms of not having to swap out anybody from that week one starting lineup, this is new adversity. But it's also an opportunity. All right, Broderick, we drafted you when we drafted you for a reason. You played well at times in the preseason, but to me, the knock was the lack of finish, the lack of intensity at times. Was it you're complacent? Was it being lazy? Was it conditioning? Was it you're a first round of top 10 pick going against third and fourth strings in the preseason game? Could that have been it? We don't know. But either way, the thing that I look at it is now you're going to get an opportunity potentially to change that narrative about yourself. You're going to get a chance now to go out here and show if you were worth that top pick and if you are ready to play now and the team is maybe just holding you back. I'm sure it's people that look at Dan Moore and say, well, man, why isn't Broderick out there? He could do that. Well, you might get your chance to prove that this weekend.
It might have, yeah.
Yeah. But
they're definitely tougher on the concussion timelines. So,
Yeah.
like, it wouldn't be out of question if Chooks misses a week.
Yeah. And I'll say this, in terms of the offensive line yesterday, I thought they played well at times, and then I thought that the Niners' physicality and the Niners' playmakers got after them. And what I mean is this. When we ran the ball, we didn't do it often. It was one of two things were going to happen. We got off the ball, and when more fields would hit them in the mouth, we were able to get a little bit more positivity out of that thing. We saw the one long run from Najee where he was able to step around a guy and get, I think it was like a 20-yard or something like that. It was nice. It was real nice.
Positive juke for Najee.
But that was us ultimately being able to be the aggressor, being the hammer and not the nail. Now, granted, that was also against their nickel front. So we had the numbers there. The other situations where I thought we struggled in terms of running the ball was when they were in their base defense, and whenever we were trying to climb up to their linebackers, man, I thought their D-line did a heck of a job keeping those guys clean. Whereas for us, I'm a fan of Montravis, but he had a rough one at times yesterday in terms
Time
of
for more betting.
It is, but it's still
it's going to
context with
naturally
it.
happen too because Cam might miss like 8 weeks or
Right.
something. Someone's saying in
But
the chat right
it's
now.
context with the Benton and Montravis part. But to me, I just thought that Hargrave and Armstead, the D tackles for the Niners, they won the majority of the matchups versus James Daniels, Isaac Seumalo, and Mason Cole. I hate to say
those
it
are our
like
three
that,
big
bro.
hitters on the O-line.
I hate to say it
there's
like
no
that,
doubt.
but
Yeah.
that was, to me, what was happening at times, run game and at times in the pass game.
Yeah, you saw them get
Yeah.
pressure on the interior. It's like, damn, that really shouldn't be happening.
Right. They could get the pressure one-on-one, or they got the sacks when they started doing their games, the twisting and stunts. That's the one part where I'm like, okay, do I fret and say our guys aren't good enough, or do I look at it and say Hargrave is a $80 million D tackle now, Armstead's another $80 million dude, Bosa's the highest paid defender, and do I chalk it up to that? Because that was the disheartening part when I'm like, these are the guys that we paid. It's not like that was Chooks and Dan Moore. They're struggling. Dan Moore sack, that was not on Dan Moore. Man, the pressure that came from inside by the time Kenny ran over there and all that other stuff, it's like, bro, Dan Moore done blocked this dude 3 times. And then the dude made the sack. I'm like, that's not on Dan? No. But them interior dudes, man, I thought that was the matchup that they did not win, man. And
So you could chalk it up to them being good, but also just us having an off game all around.
Because
everywhere.
I'm like, those dudes are good. And when they're playing like that, that lets Fred Warner scrape. So when Fred is flying through those gaps clean, he's literally running through. It was target practice at times hitting Naj, man, because he's like, I could just scrape freely, and I'm just shooting the gap. Man, he hit Naj so hard one time, I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, you could hear it from the TV.
Bruh. But that's because their D-line was getting after our interior at times, man. But who is a better player? Are you taking Seumalo are you taking Seumalo, Daniels, and Mason Cole versus or over Javon Hargrave and Eric Armstead? Because you can make a case that Hargrave and Armstead are better players. You can make a case that at their position that they've had more success.
Right.
So is it crazy to be in this scenario in this stadium and those guys having success like how they were having, even though these are our guys that we compensated? We're not paying either any of those 3 I named one of those guys' contract. And that's all 3 of them combined.
Yeah, I just thought we were going to be better, and I thought they would maybe be a little bit worse for week 1 as well. And, yeah, it just wasn't the case. It was the opposite. Maybe we gave him too much bulletin board material with Pat P. He might need to cancel the podcast after that one, not going to lie.
Pat P at times looked elite, and at times Pat P looked old yesterday. And it hurt my heart.
Right. I'm
like, DB slipping? You don't slip. You can't slip. You start slipping, they started to say, what is it? It's not your cleats. Are you getting older? What's happening? I'm telling you from it. This is how those convos got for a fact. I've seen them. I've been a part of them. And then they eventually came to me. And you're like, bro, what? I just slipped. It ain't that deep. Well, you won't slip when you was in your 20s. And they will, like, dead serious be saying it just like that. I ain't never seen it happen to you before. Well, it's starting to happen now. But at the same time, I look at some plays where Pat P did look elite. I look at him where he's, first off, still showing the cerebral reading routes. A couple of his PBUs, just reading routes, trusting his eyes, and then showing the elite level ability. But the issue is for Pat P right now is he flashes number 1 ability, but at the same time, we know he is slowing down. You know what I mean? He's not the same type of player. So at times, yes, Ayuk did have some success, but all of Ayuk's numbers were not a product of Pat P. I thought that Pat P had the touchdown, the first, like, we beat him with the bang inside and he slipped. I thought that was Ayuk really just routed him up. I thought he ran up, got up on his toes, and caught Pat P off guard, and that was the slip.
Oh, you're saying that's a touchdown even if he didn't slip?
Bro, I'm looking at how Ayuk ran that route, and I'm looking at Pat P's reaction. I'm like, that was going to be dicey.
Pat P looked comfortable about the situation.
He did, though.
Did you see him point out the safety? Like, you got that guy, I got him, don't worry.
Right, and I'm like, bro, it would have been interesting I would have needed to see the finish. I would need to see that one, because I'm like, bro, you got some big cojones, you sitting on that thing like that. And then when it's like, oh, it's like, yeah, bro, you tripping. He's not running a stop. He's running in. It's one of them. So that's one of them things, you know? But then, like you said, you watch him in coverage on the jump, well, on the touchdown where he goes, you know, the crazy combat catch. It's like, yo, that's great coverage.
I'm not
tripping on
Ayuk
that.
To come down with that.
Right, that's great coverage right there.
Had a couple PBUs. The one should have been a pick.
It should, see? So it's like he flashed points of elite play.
The one that you might be talking about, this one was was it like a slanter crosser over the middle?
Deep end with
that was on
Ayuk.
Ayuk. Yeah, he just got beat on that one.
He's running it, and literally, you see it pre-snap. He's like, Pat P's talking. He's like, all right, this is my guy right here. And it look like you can push it up, bop. And he's like, yo, we ain't got that one.
Yeah, was he just too lackadaisical about it? Didn't believe in Purdy, didn't believe in Ayuk like that?
We can make excuses.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, though. Yeah, I mean, he got beat.
Yeah, he got beat, bro. But that's when
it was a mixed day for Pat P.
It was, because I'm like, at
Very
times I'm
day.
like, let's go, Pat. The other times I'm like, all right, do we need JPJ out there a little bit more? Like, I don't know. Levi was Levi. I'm like, people go crazy on Levi. I'm like, bro, Levi is a number 2. He played like a number 2. If he's matched up versus your number 2 type guys, he's going to have success. You put him out there versus a guy that's cooking, you're going to see his change of direction, his stop and start isn't like a Pat P. It isn't like the Haydens. It isn't like the elite tier guys. So that is why you see some of those guys have that success. Like Ayuk was able to have at times.
Yeah, maybe we just didn't respect Ayuk enough. Is Ayuk on pace for, is he going to be a top 15 receiver this year or something?
I mean,
Top 10?
Ayuk has had success in this league.
Yeah, he has, but
Yeah.
still.
What's the difference between Brandon Ayuk and Deontay Johnson?
I was going to say,
What's the
like, what,
difference?
he's got like 1,000 yards? He has
What's
a
the
1,000-yard
difference?
season at some point, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the difference? Like, we would see DJ cook a guy, and we wouldn't be over here like, man, he's not capable of that. Like, no, we're going to be over here like, bro, that's DJ. We know Deontay could do that. Outside, people might not feel him the same way, though. Ayuk, I look at him in a very similar manner.
Yeah, because that was the guy. We had Kittle in check for the most part, and also Debo. McCaffrey obviously was getting off on the run game, but part of that, too, I thought was on us. So it left Ayuk, and he was just cooking. Purdy had a connection with him. And then Purdy, too. What pissed me off is... yeah, here's what pissed me off. Like... we had some good stuff dialed up, but this dude was flashing like prime Steve Young type of stuff with escapability. It was pissing me off.
The one time Minka coming through on the blitz, he extend. I'm like,
that could have been a strip sack right there. I'm like pumped. I'm like, oh baby.
When he's running in the open field and he hit, I think it was Cole Holcomb. He hit him with the yeet. I was like, what?
Yeah, was not expecting that at all.
That caught me off guard. I say, yo, when did Purdy? You called him Steve Young. I love it.
That's what it was like.
I hate him, but he looked just like it.
Like the escapability and like where
the funky,
I'm sure he
had the crazy just the man.
He was doing some stuff like that last year, but yeah, this felt different. Like he kind of knew what he was doing, right? And I guess give him credit. At the same time, we did have an opportunity or two to get a pick off him. TJ almost had a second strip sack. The whole challenge
that was
stuff.
the crazy part too. Like, what were your thoughts on that?
I hated the challenge call.
I did too.
I thought it was so obvious. Purdy had it.
I did too, but people still were like pissed about it, saying like, how can he recover when he's on his back? And I'm like, you see, he has his hands on it, and TJ's touching him, so by rule, he's down. It can't be TJ snatches it from when we can clearly see him 2 hands on the ball and TJ touching him. But yeah, people was like struggling to understand that, man.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I thought we were just off in all facets. I mean, if you want to throw coaching in there too, like that's an example
Talk
to me.
about it.
We
Yep.
missed that challenge. I thought that wasn't going to be the case anymore because Tomlin has the Infinity Gauntlet. We'll be able to know when to challenge, when not to challenge.
I thought we still hired somebody to do the challenge and stuff. So is that person still a part of the team or not?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. But yeah, that and just us coming out flat, that's on coaching. But then players didn't do the coaching any justice. It was it was bad. Basically everyone outside of TJ. I mean, McFarland in the kick return game.
Shout out to TJ though, man. He tied the record with Debo, man. I'm tired of him tying records. He need to go ahead and take it as his own, which I anticipate happening this week, by the way.
Oh yeah,
because he done tied the NFL sack record with straight hand. Now he done tied the Steelers sack record with my dog Debo. I'm just like, yo, go ahead, man. Just go ahead and finish it. Make it completely yours, man. We don't want you sharing anything else, man. Be selfish this week, man.
And Cam is definitely out of that race.
Oh, it's over for It's as much as I love my dog.
I think he saw the TJ 3 sacks. He's
as much as I love my dog, you ain't
surgery.
catching that right now, bro.
That's what everyone's saying. You seeing this in the chat?
If it's
saying
for
8 weeks.
If it's 8 weeks, then it's probably surgery. And just be smart. I ain't tripping on it, man. You got to be smart, man.
Keanu Benton, step up.
Yeah. And this the thing, man. Keanu, I thought played really well. I was excited to see what he was doing run game and pass game. Montravis didn't play terrible. I thought his effort was good. I thought that he did some good things versus one-on-one. His problem is pride. And what I mean by that is this. Versus the double team, he does not want to sit on a bar stool when he is giving up movement. Anybody that's played D-tackle or in the trenches understands exactly what I'm talking about. Versus a hard double team, sometimes if you're giving up movement, you have to literally take your butt and go sit down like you're sitting on a bar stool and cause a pow. The pow happens at 2 to 3 yards, but what that does is it keeps your linebackers free, and they're able to scrape and make plays. It's times I'm watching Cole, Landon, and Quan have to run around him 5-6 yards deep.
You just got to make it messy.
And even though it's a double team, you're not supposed to beat 2 NFL guys. That is how you combat it. You make the pow, and then everybody else can go at it. But it was like he didn't want to give up out the fight. Right. And that's the part when I talk the pride part. Because when you in that double team, you like, nah, bro, I'm stout. And you fighting. And in your mind, you fighting. But everybody else, you like, bro, you back here with me, bro. Like, just drop. If you just drop, that's a win. That's something that when you talk about coaching, though, they're going to coach that up. They're going to look on that tape and see the same thing I saw. And they're going to say, bro, is it that you can't be stout against the run?
I
No,
like that little
I've
tidbit.
seen you be stout. But versus the double, and that's a coaching point. Versus the double team, bro, if you're giving up movement, sit on the bar stool. The same way you go to your local watering hole and you would pop, do just like that. Versus the double team, you sit. All right, I'm giving up movement, pop, and you going to cause a power there, bro. And that's how you get up out that down. But that was one of the things that I thought for Montravis, he had to be better at understanding when to take an L on that down and not make it a worse play because your pride is saying, let me keep fighting. I loved his effort. You look on the McCaffrey long touchdown run, it's Pat P in the end zone, and it's 57 down there. Think about that.
Doing his best Cam Heyward
Think about
impression.
that, man. So in terms of, do I want that guy on the field? 100%. If you give me that type of effort, that type of energy, bro, yeah, I will play that. But you got to be better in terms of understanding the situation, understanding what we are asking from you in this play. On a double team, it's not your time to make the play. It's not. If you're going to make the play on a double team, it's a quick double and that guard is flying up to the backer. And we always say, if you're getting double team, it's on me as a linebacker to get that double off of you, me coming downhill. Or if they're going to stay on that double, it's on me to make the play. But if you allow yourself and this double to get in my way, I can't help you. That's what he just got to learn, man. And he'll learn that. It's a field thing. And I wonder, too, because first regular season game, you're doing it for 4 quarters now, how much of that might have played into it? You were anticipating having Cam out there a lot more. Cam not out there. Maybe we're asking you to do a lot more than you were anticipating. I don't think Keanu Benton or Montravis are 100% snap guys just yet. I do feel like Keanu, to me at least, would be 50-50, just based on what I saw, in this past game.
Yeah,
I don't hate 50-50 to start out. But I wouldn't just put Keanu exclusively out there and say you don't need a Montravis anymore because this is still a rookie. And as we've been seeing, even with Kenny, it's up and down at times, man. It gets less up and down the further along we go, but it's still, you got that. So I need to see from Keanu, what does that look like this week versus a different group, versus a different style of offense? How does your body recover? How does your mentality recover? It's easy to prep for the first game. We've been talking about it for all year. It's easy to be excited for that game. All right, can you get back to working in the lab, though, after a loss, after the people going to say some negative stuff about you? Can you still watch that amount of tape? Can you still go get your lick? Can you still do all these little things right? With rookies, that's what we're trying to figure out, man.
Right. Okay, where are we at here?
We should be let's go UW. Yeah, we cooking, baby. Bro, and shout out to everybody that's here today, man. We got a packed spot in here, man. Y'all hit that like button one time for the coach. If y'all enjoying yourselves, I hope y'all. I know me and my dog enjoying ourselves, you know.
Always a great time.
Absolutely, man. We getting better. We feeling better, man. And we're going to get this thing rocking.
Let's go, UW. In regards to the offense's execution, I'd be in favor of it. What? 0 positive. Wait, what is he talking about? 0 positive yards until that scoring drive at the end of half. It's beyond acceptable. It's not just Canada. Kenny has blame as well. I'd be in favor of. Is he talking about like executing the offense? Like
yeah, he's in favor of offensive execution. I think he worded it wrong, but I think it's what he's trying to say. Like, oh, offense execution. Yeah, I'd be in favor of that. In that sense, I just think he worded
like
it.
the plays are there enough at least. Okay.
You say we just need slow offensive execution. Yeah, I could definitely get behind that. I'm on board with that.
I thought he was saying like it's time to axe the offense.
Yeah, I was like, yo, it can't be an execution like that.
Get rid of
take
Canada.
It to the gallows.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 0 positive yards until the score, that was kind of crazy, man. And then I think it was at one point in the third quarter, I think there was like 200 and something positive yards from them total offense to like 6 or something. I was like, yo, this is unreal, man.
Yeah, it looked bad. It looked bad at the time. Again, even me saying this right now, you're probably just gonna be like rolling your eyes and say like, "Come on, Deke." But I do feel like game flow and us kicking ourselves had to do with that.
It did.
There was never a time I felt like, and after rewatching it today, where I felt they have something for us we can't stop.
Yeah.
I never felt that way. It's just it's almost like the Eagles game last year. They had 3 or 4 good plays or took advantage of our misfortunes. And rest of the game was relatively even, but we, I'd say they maybe still would have had the edge there.
Yeah.
But I think it was closer than what the score was. It's just they had big plays. They had the play where Ayuk caught Pat P slipping, Ayuk mossing Pat P in a way, Christian McCaffrey 65-yard touchdown.
They were complimentary football. We were opposite of complimentary football.
We gave them good field. They scored points, put points up on the board. We would get good field, and we didn't get touchdown or anything from the TJ Watt strip sack. Now we could have got field goal, but at that point we needed to go for 6. So again, that's why the score looks worse. Like if it was in the normal flow of a game, you do kick a field goal there.
Exactly.
You start to get points on the board.
It's way different, bro. Way different, man. That's the context.
Now I know people don't want to hear that either, though. Like, I'm done with field goals. We need touchdowns. But this game could have been like a 17-13 type of game, a 21-17 type of game, where that stuff would matter. But again, they just got up way too early and by way too big of a margin. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I just realized something, man. We about 90 minutes into this thing, right? So I wanted to take a quick pause because, Deke, we need to pay a bill, if that's all right with you, man. We need to pay a bill today, okay? Yeah.
Now, y'all know how we typically rock in here, all right? If you look over Deke's head, it lets you know exactly how we rock in here. It lets you know that today's show is brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook. You know, the top-rated sports booking app. It's football season. Plenty of people out here trying to have a little fun. This is the app that you go to. This is the app that you use. It's the app that we use. And why do we use it? Because it is safe. It is secure. But more importantly, Deke, it's reliable. Just like your barber. Your barber delivered a fire cut for you. That's reliability right there. All right?
Yeah.
And that's what DraftKings Sportsbook is. They are reliable. And y'all know if we're going to talk about them, we're going to talk about them for a reason. And that's because we have a promo code. So when you first, decide to hop into this game called sports gambling, sports betting, sports booking, all that good stuff, you're going to have that first time when you're putting that wager in. So when you're on DraftKings and it's your first time making a bet, all right, you're going to have to put a little deposit down. If you put the minimum, which is $5, and you put the promo code Moats along with said minimum, you will instantly receive $200 in free bets. It's a beautiful concept. It's like you scratch my back, I'm going to really scratch your back. You can't go wrong with it, baby. So I love that part about them. But at the same time, Deke, it's not always butterflies and rainbows. Sometimes people struggle. sometimes people can't handle all the fun that's associated with sports betting. And sometimes you or someone you know might have a gambling problem. They might need some crisis counseling or even referral services. Those people that live in New York, sitting there on the screen right now for you to text. And under that number for everybody else, it's a number you could call. And that number is 1-800-GAMBLER. I said 1-800-GAMBLER. I said you better. You better call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Earl Kinsey says, I will be calling Byron Leftwich today.
Oh, shout out to B Left. Shout out to B Left. I like it. I like it. Do you think he would help us right now? It's a trick question. We're not answering that. We got Matt Kemp. Don't fall for it. Let me see what the people say about my singing. Hold on real quick, man. Hold on. What they say? Oh, they called me Aretha Franklin in here? Oh, baby. Head bopping over here. My dog singing along. Let's go, X Concepts. Y'all know what time I'm on. D. Cameron just said, wow. He was just surprised at the vocals. The Brobarian put it on fire one time with the heart emoji. He loves it. Let's go. Esco.reload called it real music. Or excuse me, real music. That's how you know he's feeling it. Music one time for the coach at one time. Okay? So I love that right there, baby. I love it.
Back to the Canada B Left.
Yeah,
thing.
Let's get back to him though.
Listen, for me, Canada is on thin ice, but I'm not going to jump off him either. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. Well, my thing is,
I've been saying it's smart to bring him back. I thought the offense looked better at the end of last year. We were doing some things, keep the chemistry between him and Kenny going, especially with Kenny going into his second year. Yeah, I would say for Canada, let's just see how the first half of the season goes.
Yeah, that's my whole thing, man. You pull up like after week one, you essentially wasted all off season. You wasted all training camp. You wasted, everything this off season. To me,
it'd be nonsensical. I mean, no one in their right mind would do that after week one.
Yeah, I'm like, man, but that's why I was saying, like, if it's legitimately the same case after week 5, then I do feel like that's a different conversation because of the context, because of the time, because of everything involved. But I also think you're sending a drastically different message to this season if you do any of that type of stuff, making changes, coordinators or quarterbacks at this stage, so that, like I said, is a doomsday scenario. So hopefully it never comes to that.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
The plan is we win this week and we're on our way. Let's go, UW. Steelers have now played 36 games with Canada as OC. The offense has failed to produce over 20 points in regulation in 27 of those 36 games.
They couldn't score yesterday? Was that on Matt Canada yesterday?
I think some of it.
Okay.
Not all of it. Like I said, coaching wasn't there. I don't think players were there for the coaching. I think it was a mix of both. Didn't like some of the predictability it felt like in the first half with the offense.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, those stats are cool. It's context and all of it. I didn't leave out of that stadium yesterday feeling like that was on Matt Canada. I didn't leave out of watching that tape this morning feeling like that was on Matt Canada. So I know he's the low-hanging fruit. I know he's the guy that everybody has had a hard-on for the past 2 to 3 years. I get it. But that has zero to me to do with yesterday. that was not a, oh my God, Matt Canada is god awful, this and that. No. Flow, missed opportunity, some missed throws, and some bad luck. That's what I really look at yesterday as. Like I said, regardless of who we wanted to say, and we said this at the intro, we said if you're looking at yesterday's game and you're trying to circle and say this is exclusively
100%.
the reason why,
Yep.
your mind was already made up before that game took place. If that's the energy and y'all like, yo, all because of Canada, that everything would have been different yesterday, your mind was already made up before that game happened. You've been waiting on an opportunity to see any type of negativity to bring that up. Like I said, I ain't tripping on it.
And I think he may have given you a couple series to show that, but the rest of the game, I didn't really have Canada on my mind like that.
Yeah, and trust me, I can understand you being fed up or even fatigued with him at times. I definitely can understand that part. But to act as if yesterday was a Matt Canada, that's the reason, and everything would have been drastically different if this was Bieniemy or this was Haley or this was anybody. It's like that was not the case yesterday, man. So I get it, but I don't know, man. Like I said, I just feel like it was a lot more other factors at play than just the Matt
Everyone
Canada
had a part
man.
in that loss.
Yeah.
Everyone did. That's how I felt. Yeah.
No.
The thought of firing Canada or firing Tomlin really never crossed my mind at all during that game.
But like I said, I get the whole 20 points thing over the 27 games sample. I get, or 37 games. I get all of that. Like, that's cool.
I mean, I could probably go back and talk about those games in a way, because last year, we weren't putting up 20 points that consistently. And we were winning games, though.
Yeah.
We were wasting a lot of clock, keeping our defense off the field. Like, that was the goal of the offense.
It was just a different flow.
Different style.
Yeah.
Ben's year, offensive line, terrible. Absolutely terrible.
So, bad O-line while still trying to play a style of football that isn't conducive to play behind a bad O-line. Like I said, there's still context with all of this type of stuff, but not making
Canada should have never
though.
been in that position to begin with.
Right, and that's another case you can make. But my thing is this: it's not making an excuse, not minimizing the guy's role. I just don't support the narrative stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's very easy to you throw these numbers out here, and then we over here like, yeah, it was all on Matt Canada, man. He was the reason, man. I tell you, he was terrible. Did he have a couple of bad calls? Sure, you can make a case for that. Are you tired of reverse? Okay, cool. You hate the jet sweep. We could talk about the jet sweep as a whole has been one of the most successful plays for Matt Canada for this offense over the duration of his tenure here. You can make a case for anything if you're trying to make a whole narrative about it, but at the end of the day, look at the large sample size with some of this stuff, and at the same time, look at the context. And you got to take all of that into account, not just one versus the other. That's all.
I will say this. Those games that he does have over 20-plus points, that's all probably due to Ben cooking in the fourth quarter. It had nothing to do with Canada. I will say that.
I mean, that's perspective. You know how that goes. The same way when you started out the day, you talked about everybody. It didn't say anything about Kenny.
No way.
Yeah.
I did.
No. You didn't say nothing about Kenny until I said it. I made sure of it. I was
agreed.
listening. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like when you brought up like, oh, man, this could have been better. That could have been better. So it's like, I anticipate you always siding with the quarterbacks, what I'm saying. So even with you saying that was probably more on 7 than on Canada, it's like
this has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with my thoughts on Kenny for today.
No, I'm saying, but you love quarterbacks. That's what I'm saying. Like you love your quarterbacks. So in your eyes, you will speak on everybody before you get to the quarterback. Is all I'm saying. And if you check the tape when you start the show back, just check it. You talk everybody.
I wasn't. Yeah, but I'll be honest. It wasn't even on my mind one way or another. I thought it was kind of given. Kenny didn't have his best day.
But see, that's the difference. Everybody else, as you see, that's the first thing they lead off with before you get to the context or receivers. They like, bro, quarterback, coordinator. Ain't not wrong with it. That's all.
We got S. Dresden. Team looks exactly the same as last year against the run, against the pass. Offensive ineptitude. Hate to say it, Pickett is awful under duress. I saw some stat today that he had his best completion percentage when he was under duress. Yeah, just for yesterday's game.
I was like, I don't agree with that context all the way. But quarterbacks do struggle typically when they are hurried up. That's the whole point of trying to get after them, whether it's pass rushers or blitzers, right? You want to make that quarterback play faster than, what he has to. Same against the run. This is what I thought against the run, though.
You have some type of theory or concept about this, right?
So this is the thing, right? Number one, I've already hinted about the Montravius Adams part. I do feel like that hurt the linebackers' ability to get downhill at times. I also thought this, man, we had too many different personnel groupings out there and too many different people playing in those groups. And that created this lull in communication and, more importantly, in run fits. We used 3 different sets of nickels. We did 3 safety. We did regular nickel. I seen one nickel where it was Keanu Neal. We saw one where it was Minka Fitzpatrick. It was another one where Casey was down in the nickel. I saw Shannon Sullivan be in the nickel. Then you throw in, we had Landon Roberts, Cole Holcomb, and Quan Alexander all out there linebacker too. It was just like, man, the different players, the different characters they would have out there, it looked like it took them a couple of plays to all get on the same page at times in terms of communicating. And if you look on, you see these dudes trying to talk it out. Like, yo, what's that? Gotta go here, I just feel like it was a lot of moving pieces. Now, part of it is what we talked about. When you don't have a solidified slot, or you don't have, these are my solidified linebackers, you gotta rotate these dudes to get the personnel. And we say, oh, well, it's all right because we got this guy. It's okay, we got that guy. On paper, it is. But in games, this is some of the potential negativity with it. Deke, you might be aggressive fit in that run gap, a la Keanu Neal. I might be a little bit more finesse with it, a little bit DeMonte Casey. This person over here might be Minka. And how they see it, they might not fit it like a regular person, but they might be seeing something totally different. And they just making a play on it. Then you throw in these linebackers who are, all right, Landon Roberts. Very much downhill. Cole Holcomb tries to read it. Quan, a little more athletic, he might backdoor it. It's just, to me, I felt like in this first game, 4 quarters of all them dudes working together, it looked like they weren't always on the same page, definitely in them run fits. And that's one of the things when you're facing a team like the Niners, with what they do well is what? Run the ball and play action pass. What are the 2 most important things as a defender versus running the ball and play action pass? Us all being on the same page. Because in run fits, as we saw, one person out they gap, that ball spitting. In play action pass, if we not all on the same page pre-snap, I can't find this dude, Deke. If I'm here first looking at run, now I got to turn my back and run around. I don't know how you've seen what you've seen. I don't know where you're at. And those are some of the things that I thought kept popping up. But it was really when you talk about all these different groupings that we used, but we really don't have an alternative just yet either until a slot emerges that we feel confident play in and play out, or one of these linebackers show, or 2 of the linebackers show that they don't ever have to come off the field. We're kind of stuck doing some of this stuff, but I just felt like we used it a little bit too much out there, man.
Okay, something to watch for.
That was how I felt about it, man, because I thought specifically Keanu Neal, he was the one that caught me the most, because it was like, man, I love how aggressive he is. But it was just like his fits and the dudes trying to fit off of him, everybody just seemed out of whack at times, man. And when you're talking about at this level, game of inches, those are some of those same inches we talk about. Sure. Your helmet being on this side of that dude versus on that side is a totally different read for me and everybody else around. And that's some of the stuff that I just feel like they all got to get on the same page with, but it was week 1. So that's the other part when you talk about the optimism. You're like, all right, now we just got to make sure that we're even more intentional about it, because we've seen when we're not the cause and effect of that.
Black Lavender says, Kenny looked like McCash cheeks.
God dang. That's crazy. Call that boy McCheeks over there. And Big Bad Wolf, you really called him Josh Rosen? Don't do that. No, don't do that. It's
an easy day for the Kenny haters to come out right now.
You know, they was looking for this moment, man.
It's tough.
If you had a narrative in your mind, this is your day. They've been waiting on it. I get it.
It was tough. Like I said, I'm going to hang my hat on all the good things he's done in the past. With his development, toss this week 1 game aside, on to week 2.
Come on, man.
Trevor Hamilton knew it was going to be a long game when the jet sweeps came out and got blown up. Second play of the game. No more jet sweeps.
So it's not an issue with the jet sweep. Think of this. Jet sweep, in that context, it was 2nd and 4. It's no different than a dive play. It's no different than a screen play. It's no different than a draw play. You're trying, or excuse me, not a dive. It's no different than a counter play. And what you're trying to accomplish in second and medium or second and short, you're either going to take a shot deep off a play action pass, or you're trying to run some type of misdirection, because what do you think the D-line is going to be doing on second and short? They're playing aggressive because they want to get you behind the sticks, TFL or sack on play action pass, so that way it's third and long. So for Matt Canada, he just simply said, instead of me calling a screen, instead of me trying to call a draw, instead of me trying to call a counter, I'm going to go with a play that we've had a lot of success with, the jet sweep. It's a misdirection style play. You call them versus aggressive fronts. You call them in those type of down and distances. Problem is this. The way that we tried to run it, we usually like to bank on the D-line, number one, interior guards, D-tackles not getting penetration. We already highlighted Hargrave, Armstead, and what they were doing. Second part is we like to leave the DN to the play side unblocked. And we simply say the jet sweep guys' speed and him getting the ball is going to catch that DN off guard, and he's not going to see it in time. So now I got tight end and an extra blocker with the tackle. It's a dope design. The difference was the DN just saw it. The DN made a play on it. That was the only difference. But you think about how many times that DN has seen that play and missed that read. When we talk about the cut-ups of jet sweeps from Matt Canada, that DN don't make that play all the time. It's been a handful of times where that DN has made that play. The rest of them have been around that corner getting upfield, and we like, yeah, the jet sweep worked again. Hey, man, we laughing about the jet sweep worked again. That's all that call was. That's literally all it was, man. But Niners got to tip the cap to them. DN made a dope play. He sees it, pushes pushes back up the field. Now we get back to some adversity. Now we like, oh dang, man, it's jet sweep again. But it wasn't a terrible call. If it was a screen pass and it got tackled for loss, would we be acting any different? No, it still would have been a negative play, right? But because it was a screen pass, optically it just looks different. If it was a draw play, if it was the counter play and it got tackled for loss, any of that, it still could have been the same outcome. But to me, the thought of what he's trying to accomplish, I don't hate it. And I don't hate the jet sweep call in that moment either. Now, would I wanted to be a better play result? Absolutely. But the thought process, I'm not about to crucify it just because the result wasn't what I wanted. Because it was the right thought process, and it was an understanding of why he was calling what he called.
John Rye, everyone want to bench Kenny, but not Burrow.
Well, the difference is we've seen one go to a Super Bowl before. Whereas the other guy, we're trying to see, can he take us there? That's all. But I do get what you're saying, though, because Kenny definitely ain't play as bad as Burrow did on paper. Like I said, I've not watched the game from Burrow, but Kenny definitely ain't throw for no daggone 80-something yards and get benched in the fourth.
Right, and again, too,
no.
It's definitely not an ability issue with Kenny. Like, we saw really good throws. It's just we didn't see the consistency we typically see out of Kenny with his throws. Like, did he miss a pass or two last year on occasion where you'd be like, man, that could have been a touchdown or whatnot? Yeah, but for the most part, dude
it was
really, really accurate on his passes, 90 to 95% of the time.
Even you look at his college tape, the accuracy is the one thing that you're like, okay, this is why you feel good about it. That was the outlier yesterday, or at least that's what we're banking on, because we have not seen that. We have not seen that, man.
No. Let's go, UW.
Think about it. That's the first turnover he's had in what? His last 10 outings?
You're right.
No turnovers in that 7-game stretch. No turnovers in this preseason.
Yeah, he didn't even have any
about that, bro.
Fumble losses.
Think about
in that last 7-8 game stretch.
So it's like, is this the outlier? I'm willing to at least give him the benefit of the doubt to find out. I'm willing to at least say, man, what I've seen your last 10 times in the stadium were way better than yesterday's performance in the stadium. I'm not going to allow this one to overlook these 10 that I've already seen.
Plus, as I mentioned, the improvement saw from the offseason. You combine all that, it's like, I'm going to stick with those initial takes than just let one game make me have an overreaction with this. Let's go, UW. Steelers are the only NFL team that hasn't recorded a 400-yard game since 2021 season. Okay. Every team has done it at least 3 times. 9 teams have done it 10-plus times. Canada became the OC in 2021.
Cool. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Cool.
It is a stat.
Yeah. I don't... Like,
that's the thing. Like, for me, I haven't really liked Canada for about, 75% of the time, 70% of the time he's been here.
Yeah.
But he did enough at the end of last season, being that was his year 2 under the contract, or however long we have him locked up here.
Yeah.
He did enough in the second half of last year to give him a run back for this season. Like that's all I'm going with. Like, yeah, have there been times the offense should have been better over his last 2 years? For sure. I just said it's like 70% of the time I didn't like him being ROC, but he's here now, and I do think it's going to be better than what we've seen his first 2 years. It's one game. That's my big thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that stat's inaccurate, because, I mean, that stat's out there,
I mean, the
right?
stat's a stat. Yeah, we're not tripping on that. Like I said, I'm a context dude, though, bro. But I get what you're saying, though. And trust me, man, you could have felt like that. It seems like you felt like that before yesterday even happened. And if they won't go have 400 yards, which is what your standard is looking like between, your super's 400 and then averaging, or we needed over 27 yards or over 27 points or over 20, or was it 20 points?
I thought it was 20.
It's 20, right? 20. Okay. So it was 20 in 27 of 36 games, something like that. Yeah. So if they ain't go out there and have 400 yards of total offense and 20 points, you were going to feel this type of way regardless. So for me, I'm not about to talk you off that ledge, baby. Keep that same energy. That's fine. We're going to see what it look at the end of the year, baby. Keep it, though.
Hey, I like this one in terms of just, hey, this happened. Like, maybe you don't feel too bad. Leo says, remember the 49ers lost to the Bears last year, week 1.
Once again, if you want to
Bears are the worst team in the league.
If you want to push your narrative, man.
Hey, we need more
There's
of those.
A lot of context,
can we have
bro.
more of those? Like week 1 disasters from good teams, but then they ended up being good? That's what we need. Let's go, UW. Bench Kenny for Mason. No.
So he's like, yo, if y'all ain't gonna roll with the Canada part, well, then maybe I'm gonna go with the Kenny part then. You fight the Kenny fight.
I just said no. You got any take on that?
Fight the Kenny fight?
You got any take? No, I said we're not doing that.
See, I already told you, but
you're not thinking that way?
Once I've identified that this is your time, this is the time you on, I'm not here to convince you one way or the other. If you believe that Matt Canada is terrible and that's your vibe, go be that be your vibe, baby. I'm not about to talk down blue in the face to convince you of what I see. Nah. So if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. If you feel like benching Kenny for Mason will make your team better, cool. I don't agree with that. That's all. No.
Yeah, I would say that's a bad take. Come on, here. I'm not throwing in the towel on anyone, even Canada. It was a team loss to a great team. Hearing the fire Tomlin comments immediately isn't needed.
Well, but that is the beauty of fans, though. You got to have the diversity. All the different sections of it. You got the hard, you got the irrational, you got the context. But that's what makes fans beautiful in this context, man. But, yeah. The firing Tomlin is kind of crazy after 1 week of the new season when the optimism and all the energy was peak just 7 days ago, Deke. Just 7 days ago, man.
Yeah, I think no matter what, Tomlin should get this full year. Now, I do think this is a big year for Tomlin.
100%.
It's a big year for Tomlin, but
100%.
Again, I'm banking that, things start to get right here sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he deserves the benefit of the doubt to get the whole year for sure. And whenever I was talking about Canada, what did I say, like half the year, whatever.
Yeah, to me,
but this isn't. It shouldn't even be a conversation right now. But I guess I'm entertaining the comment.
To me, I looked at it like this: big year for Coach Tomlin as a whole. Absolutely, this is 100% you. Your roster, your coaches, everything is you, what you've picked. So yeah, we are gonna look at this and hold Coach T a lot more accountable than in years past. Same for Matt Canada to an extent.
Right.
But it's like, man, to act like after one game you make a hard stance one way or the other. The offense could have came out and looked great yesterday. Does that mean we was going to crown Matt Canada as the greatest OC going forward? No. We was going to say, all right, Kenny balled out. Pickens looked good. That looked good. But Canada, we need to see it again. Can you keep it going? So just understanding that context, man, that's why I do feel like it makes sense to trust it and stick with what we got going on right now, man. You can't jump ship and lose your mind after one performance versus the San Francisco 49ers, who they were just in the NFC Championship game a year ago. Am I not tripping on that? Like, they're a good team, man. It happens.
Tito Whitaker gifted a Moats membership to Willie the Steelers guy, 420.
Shout out to Tito Whitaker. And who said it was Steelers?
Willie the Steelers guy.
What was the numbers at the end?
420.
Willie the Steelers got 420. Welcome to the Upper Room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Ryan McPherson says, John Easton is right. Same problems over the past 3 years. Remember the 41-10 loss to the Bengals in 2021 with Ben. Similar game to yesterday, but less hate. And he has hate with the 8 there.
Oh, no.
It's specific hate. Targeted to 8 is what he's saying.
Maybe it was. How you feel about that?
No, there was a lot of hate towards 7 at that time. I think you must have forgot. I didn't. I definitely didn't.
I don't know what you're talking about, Deke.
There was a lot of hate towards 7.
And
I tried telling all the people it's not 7. It's not 7's fault. We have the worst O-line in the league. Our defense is atrocious at stopping the run, but everyone wants to blame 7.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. What is this hate? I don't remember any of that hate. No.
Maximus, fire Canada. We need to get Coach Prime.
Shout out to Coach Prime and them Colorado Boulders over there taking care of some bold. I said Colorado Boulders, Colorado Buffaloes. In Boulder, Colorado. But yeah, shout out to Coach Prime. Shout out to Shador. Shout out to the squad over there, man. Keeping it rolling, man.
He took care of that side of the parlay.
Yes.
My hometown squad didn't pick up the slack, though, unfortunately.
It happens.
Yeah, they might actually be good, huh?
I feel like they got a chance to be good. I feel like so far
makes the Pac-12 interesting.
That's what I'm saying.
Basically, what the last year of the Pac-12 will be.
Yeah, because I don't know what that's gonna be after this.
I mean, because Colorado's gonna have to go up against like USC.
Uh-huh.
Who else is good out there? Anyone else? Oregon. I think they're ranked, right?
Yeah, Oregon's good. Oregon State was the one that's not so hot.
Well, did they win this week?
I didn't
DJ had
see.
a first good week.
I didn't see, man.
To my surprise. First momentum on to Cleveland. Great seeing you, Moats. Well,
man,
actually,
likewise,
on to
dude.
Pittsburgh, I guess, against Cleveland.
Yeah.
We stay here.
Facts. But salute, man. I did get a chance to see official momentum yesterday, man. It was dope, man.
Yeah, you know what? He tagged me on an Instagram. Yeah.
Let's go. Shout out to official momentum, though, man. Always a vibe seeing him, man. So, yeah, baby. Life is good.
Wish I was there.
Bro, I do too, man. People was asking me, like, yo, where Deke at? So
I'll be there Monday.
Man. He on Bleacher Report, bro. A lot of people are saying, where Deke? He's streaming. Bleacher Report.
On
Check
my
him out.
grind, man.
Showing some love. Support the homie.
I'm down there this week, and there better not be fans leaving.
Better not. Talk to him now.
Let's go, UW. Throw some butter on Wallace. He's toast.
All right, let's go. Levi did not have his best performance at times. That is accurate. But at the same time, I do feel like...
Was it the style of receiver that maybe is just his kryptonite?
When you got speed that can stop on the dime, that's not what Levi does well. Levi is a long, big, physical corner. I love when Levi's playing cover 4, cover 6, and he's pressed up and he used that length and body control. I don't like, though, when he has to deal with receivers like Ayuk or like a Samuel or any of them dudes that can go really, really fast this way and make him run, and then they can do this. Because he takes a couple of extra steps to come back. That's why he's ultimately a number 2 versus a 1. The ones are the guys that can go here and make them same cuts with 1 step just like them receivers can. Levi, he takes an extra step. And that's the difference. You talk about Levi, though, in a positive way is his tackling. Typically, after the catch, he doesn't allow a lot of yak. So I do like that, which was why I was so pissed when I saw him be the one to miss the tackle on McCaffrey.
Right.
I'm like, bro, you tackle well. That's something that you typically do well on tape. So is it doom and gloom, or is it, bro, could you have just made that play? Is that a missed opportunity?
We were just cursed yesterday.
Sometimes it's like that in them stadiums, man. Everything get the rolling. Like, all right, bro, it might not be our day today.
Yeah. That's
that does happen too at times, man.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
First momentum, Ambition live at Craft House, November 3rd, 2023.
Shout out to Ambition, man. And shout out to the homie, official momentum, baby. Let's ride.
Next, we got... Hold on.
Hey, you watching the game tonight? It's a game tonight, too, bro.
We still got a bunch of super chats here. Yeah, I'll tune in, I guess.
Right. I just think about it.
And you know what? You bringing up this matchup reminded me about the franchise. So I'm going to try to get it so we could start playing our week 1 games today. I'll get you and TG the invites and everything. And there might still be some computer users, but I'll try to send out a PSA and get things figured out, get those spots taken. But in terms of playing week 1 games, I'm going to try to get that up and running tonight. And then maybe if we can, get the advanced schedule just bumped up a little bit for this week. Could
All
we maybe make it Thursday or Friday?
Okay.
So we could start to slowly try to get back on track for the whole week to week.
Okay.
I guess exact week to week advancing
catching up
as
with
the
it.
NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, whatever you want to.
I like that.
However you want to phrase that. But I think that's the plan.
I like it, bro. I'm on the team. I'm ready. I'll be ready, man.
Yeah, I was out of town this week. This was just poor timing
Listen,
by me.
Between you out of town, Pitt taking the L, then the Steelers taking it, I'm like, Deke ain't worried about nothing right now except his guys getting back. That's what Deke is focused on right now.
Steven Peroto just dropped some support with his
Man,
first super chat.
Shout out to you, Steven. No, we do appreciate you from the heart, man. Absolutely, man.
Stephon Griffin, why are CBs playing 15 yards off all game? Houseway.
Yeah, so I did notice that part of that I felt like was due to two things. I thought initially Ayuk surprised them a little bit. And your responses back off of that a little bit. And then the other part was we were playing some zone concepts versus them when we know they like to run play action pass, crossing routes and stuff like that. So you can alternate, right? You can either be pressed up on it and that's going to play it one way, or you could play it off and kind of like let the routes develop in front of you and play them top down. If you're going to play them top down, you typically are doing that because you're saying to yourselves, I don't think this quarterback's going to make the right reads. So with pressure, this quarterback making bad reads, play action pass, he's going to throw something, going to hit me in the face. So that was part of the thought process. Problem was we didn't execute it the same way. Whether it was three safeties, whether it was nickel, whether it was base, heck, we even was in dime at one point. And that was some of the stuff where it's like, I'm watching Levi communicate with Keanu Neal, and I'm looking at Ayuk still run and hit the day going 7, or it's like a 12-yard in. I'm like, we're technically running the coverage right, but am I going to tell Keanu Neal, don't be giving ground, don't be backing up, and just sit here and play aggressive and jump this route when I know Ayuk, if he doesn't start backing up, will run right by him? But now I'm like, well, dang, yeah, it's soft on the end. And I'm looking at Levi communicate with you, and you're communicating back, but because you're backpedaling. But I'm not about to tell Keanu Neal to go up there, hey, man, stand right there and don't worry about him going, no, heck no. So that's some of the stuff that was taking place with, them playing off like that. Pros and cons to it. But the thought process was, or typically is, when you're playing off like that with banking on the pass rush being what it is, you're going to be able to see a young quarterback put that ball in harm's way, and it's a lot easier to break on it and have eyes on the quarterback from depth versus when you're pressed up.
We got Kyle Monier.
I was like, who was Kyler?
I was trying to give him Kyler Murray's
Shout out to
first name.
Dobbs, though. Now that you brought up Kyler and them Cardinals, shout out to Dobbs, man.
For what?
He was playing well, bro. I don't care about everything else. As long as my dog play well, that's all I care about. Yeah.
Not gonna lie, it looked like Canada pulled out the 2021 playbook. Don't be shocked if we end September 3-1 though. Learn from it, move on, and trust the Mike Tomlin, the GOAT.
That's the reality of it, man. Trust the process. Trust Coach T. When has he ever failed me? When has he ever not been able to right the ship? We've always seen that specifically under his tenure, even though yesterday was historic. We know TJ broke, or tied the sack record for the Steelers, but this was also the largest home loss that the Steelers have ever had under Coach Tomlin's tenure. So that was a historic performance as well, man. But ultimately, I'm trusting in the average, law of averages versus the outliers. And yesterday was outlier.
We got Fish Momentum saying Ambition live at the Steelers tailgate, November 12th, 2023, Green Bay versus Pitt.
You heard him. You heard him.
Stage AE, right?
That's one, yeah.
Colton Troy Fu. The play calling on O looked nothing like what we saw in training camp.
I would agree with that.
Didn't really see a lot of pre-snap movement. Holcomb seemed a little soft.
All right, I won't say we'll get to Holcomb in a second. So I do agree with you. I was a little bit disappointed with that part with Canada specifically. I do feel like preseason training camp practices, he had a lot more pre-snap movement, change of drift motions and stuff to ultimately make defenses have to communicate and make adjustments prior to the ball being snapped. We did not get any of that realistically yesterday. I do wonder why, though. And that's something I don't have the answer to, but I would want to know what was the thought process, or why did we not see any of the change of strength, the shifts, the pre-snap motion, as heavily as it was when we were out there for training camp and stuff like that. Yeah. And now in terms of Cole, like I said, not soft. I do feel like he could have played better. Could have definitely been more aggressive out there. But like I said, I wouldn't say soft. I didn't get soft from him. I just thought, for me, I would have liked to see him, number one, just be aggressive in the sense of shooting your gun more, right? He's very fundamentally sound. But sometimes it's like I'm looking at a Landon Roberts, and the Landon is like, I'm not caring about a shuffle. I'm not caring about anything. I'm going to run as fast as I can at this guy, and he's either going to get out of my way or I'm going to knock him out. And you look at when the Landon was out there and how he was aggressive downhill versus that run. He's not a guy that's out here looking to do it the right way or, trying to just be super fundamentally sound. He's out there just trying to make a play. Now, there's pros and cons with that. But I just think that's a little bit of the difference. And then with Quan, obviously, he's the combo between a Landon and Cole. But I didn't think Cole was soft out there. I just thought, like I said, for me, I would have liked to have seen him just shoot more instead of trusting or erring on the side of fundamentals as often as he did in certain instances. But that Niners old line, man, they was coming off that ball. I'm not going to lie to you. They was coming off that ball pretty good, man.
Black Lavender, do you now go all out for Chase Young?
No, actually, Chase was hurt. He got the neck joint going on right now, don't he? I thought he's dealing with a neck injury over there.
I didn't see it.
I don't know if he played, actually. I know going into week 1, though, they were talking about how he was dealing with a neck injury. They might put him on the IR to start the season just because of whatever, like the neck that he was dealing with. So, yeah, but ultimately, no, I'm good, man. I got Highsmith. I not trust Highsmith. I knew what the matchup was with Highsmith, though. You're facing Trent Williams. Trent, man, it's no different when you facing Pouncey at the end of his tenure. You can say whatever you want. Oh, Pouncey's older. All right, but he ain't no slouch. This dude can still get it done. He's still a future first ballot dude, man. And, yeah, Trent is aging still very well right now, man.
Fish momentum, 16 more games, guys. Hashtag Mr. Jack Myers Jr. Prayers
yes,
up.
Sir. Yes, sir.
All right, hold on, dude. We got like...
We cooking.
I'm not kidding
rolling.
you.
I already peeped it. Yeah.
There's got to be like, I'd say 30 more.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, it's crazy. We just going to keep just hammering away.
Rec 7, if you're a real Steeler fan, that loss shouldn't even bother you. I'm used to the rough starts. Kenny decision-making and reading the D has to be better.
100%, Rec. 100%. And it will. If you trust the law of average, you trust what you've seen from Kenny, you know that yesterday was not typical Kenny. Kenny can make those throws, and Kenny will make those throws. And Kenny will trust what he's seeing and anticipate and get back to that, man. He'll be fine.
Devon Herbert says, we need more Deke investments. None of mine hit.
Uh-oh.
I don't think any of mine did either.
Mine ain't hit either, Deke. You know I had my money on the Pickens.
How many did he have? I mean, he was getting some late.
Nah,
was he like a 30 or 40?
It was like 38 he ended with, something like that. Yeah.
Did you see Instagram Lightgate?
I have been made aware of it, yes. Yeah, I've been made aware. You call it the like gate?
Well, yeah, because someone asked Pickens about it.
I heard it, yeah.
And he was shocked. He was like, I don't even know what that is.
They said his face didn't do him any favors, though, in his denial of, I don't know anything about it. Said he looked real smiley all of a sudden. Like, are you sure you don't know anything, or did it just surprise you that I knew that you knew about this, or that we knew about this? Yeah. He started fumbling around. Comment. I ain't comment on that. We ain't say comment. We said like, whoa. Now you telling yourself.
He definitely did.
That's what I'm saying.
He definitely did. There's no doubt. I mean, I don't know if it was taken down or not, but it was still up as it was making headlines. Like it was definitely still up.
That was funny, man.
You make anything of it?
No, you know how it goes. If you're a player, man, because like we have thick skin with that type of stuff. So we understand, man. We know how we feel. We gonna be hard on each other, and if I got something to say to you, I can walk right over to your locker and say it right there to you, man. Media fans, they are gonna make a bigger deal of some of that stuff as we've seen in the past, and it doesn't help when it happens after a loss and after Kenny didn't play well. So it's just kind of like everything perfect storm type. But what I will say is this: I feel like Kenny is the leader for that. He's the perfect guy to handle any of that type of stuff. In terms of just my interactions with him and from what I've heard about him in leadership roles, I don't think that's going to be an issue at all. Nah.
And to your point, I think Pickens is the type of dude that isn't shying away from any of that stuff. Like, I think he would say that exact thing to Pickett's face.
1,000%.
And I also thought, too, I mean, could Pickett be lumped into this? Sure. I feel like that frustration is more about him just knocking the ball in general.
I mean, people were trying to make a big deal out
like
of him.
not being schemed up for stuff,
They
not
were
even being out there
upset.
early on. Like I noticed that we didn't have him out there that much.
I mean, people made a big deal of the video clip of him being on the sideline late in the game, just upset. Now, granted, defense was on the field, but Pickens was just upset, and it's like, was he supposed to be smiling?
That's
Like,
going too far.
What y'all want from
you're
it?
reaching
You know what I'm
there.
saying? Like, oh, he's so pissed off now. Look, it's like, no, he's getting beat home opener. Y'all booing him. His Niner fans here. Like, there's a lot going on. Yeah, I ain't smiling either.
Yeah, I wish he would have got the ball more.
Yeah.
Tyler LaQuatra, Pickens is such a diva. Oh, speaking of Pickens, Pickens is such a diva. His body language and immaturity is a problem.
In terms of body language immaturity, I will just say this. With young players, they got to learn when to demonstrate it and when you got to just bite your mouthpiece down and keep some of that to yourself. Young players have to learn that. I think for Pickens, that's one of the things he has to learn, especially for him. He's a little bit more demonstrative. So with that and with who he is going to be talked about. It is going to be cameras on him. No different when AB knocked over the Gatorade cups in Baltimore and everybody was like, it ain't a big deal. But because it was AB, everybody made it a lot bigger of a deal. There are some similarities like that, man. But for GP, man, he'll understand throughout this process, and the guys will talk to him as well. And there'll be a mutual understanding of when, the time and the place is to show your frustrations. And there's different levels of showing said frustrations. But I just think that's one of the things that for him, under the spotlight, he just has to learn how to manage that a little bit better. And he will with time. But that is, I could definitely understand, your thought process, Tyler. I definitely can.
Hate Squad RB3.
He really didn't change the whole name.
Says, can't wait to hear Deke's excuse for Bubby Pickett.
Oh, my God. They calling him Bubby?
Come on.
Don't do that. Don't do the Bubby. You like Bubby, though, didn't you?
I wasn't around for him.
I mean, you still like him, though.
He's got a funny name, Bubby Brister. That's an amazing name, actually.
It's very funny. I'm with you on that.
Everything I always said, happy feet, bad placement, seeing ghosts, no vision, bad accuracy. He's not it.
Okay. All right. At least he's keeping the same energy. Just keep the energy as we progress through this thing. Unless you feel different, though. I don't know how you feel about it. How you feel about it, D?
Pickett had an off day. He had an off day. People can have off days. It's week one game. I'm standing by my claim. Pickett's going to be elite by the end of the season.
Talk your talk.
I've seen too much.
Let's go.
We talked regular season. I mean, I'm broken. I think I probably said this 3 or 4 times already this podcast. I'm not going to go over it. I've seen enough from him that, yeah, I believe that's going to happen.
I'm with you. I probably didn't say this too much, too, but I'm going to say it anyways. Y'all hit that like button one time and subscribe to the channel if y'all have not done so just yet, all right? So, yeah, I just figure I get mine off, too. I'm with you, though.
Sure. Bishop Walker, I think Cole Holcomb's problem was wearing the dot, trying to go call plays and make plays when you brand new. What's good, folks? I never speak.
Man, shout out to you, Bishop Walker. Man, salute you. We greatly appreciate you being a part of this thing, man. I'm sure that is a part of the context as well. I don't think that it helps you. When you're talking about being new, the vibe of putting that dot on you week 1, and then, like we talk about some of the D-line stuff, man, those guys kind of getting pushed back. You lose Cam. I mean, there's a lot that goes on in that thing. So, yeah. But I still side on the fact of Cole is a good player in this league. Cole is going to respond in a positive way next week, or at least I'm banking on that. And Aaron Curry, their coach, I anticipate him making sure that those dudes are better next week as well, man.
Rex 7, I love Pat P, and I know you're going to defend the Moats, but Buddy got smoked. First 2 Niners drives. Levi as well. We preached we need to tackle and didn't.
I just like how we only focus on the negative play, and that exclusively means more than any positive play that happens with Pat. You go bring up the Ayuk, you run an end zone, and like I said, it depends on how you even view that. If you view him as him just slipping, then you're not even tripping on that. So now what we talking about is the Ayuk overroute.
You're the one that brought up what slipping could mean.
And that's because of how I view it. But depending on who you are, we talking about what? A heck of a catch by Ayuk in the front corner of the end zone, the toe tap, and the deep over. Pat P was still getting PBUs. Pat P was still making plays out there. I'm not tripping on Pat P. I ain't trying to defend it, but at the same time, I'm not about to just go all overboard either. I mean, there's context on both sides of the fence. That's ultimately how I vibe with it. You know that, baby. But could he be better into his standards? Oh, the Pat P standard, yeah, he could definitely be better. But to me, man, I don't know. I just felt like he still has some positive stuff that took place out there, man.
Steven Perotta, we screwed up. We own it. We're fine. We move on.
And that's also the reality of it. You talk, man. I felt like I was talking to Coach T right there. That's how he talking to us in the locker room. Like he gonna get on us, but at the same time, he like, all right, man. After he didn't chew us out, you own that thing. Now it's time to start progressing, man. Now it's starting to start saying, okay, now let's implement this stuff. Because if you just sit there, you just keep over and over and over. Yeah, we ain't gonna never get better.
Guerrilla mode feels like there wasn't great effort to establish a run game. We went down early, but gave up running in the first quarter, only down 10.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Some of the things we talk about Canada, right? I do feel like at times we did abandon it, but flow does matter. And going back and watching it, I'm like, as much as I would have loved to see us have more than realistically 9 attempts, because the 10th attempt was Kenny, just, scrambling. As much as I would have loved more attempts, the flow, the way it was going, I'm like,
and we weren't running the ball too well either.
That's what I mean. It's like, how do I call 3 runs in a row? If I run it on first down and it's a no gain, I run it on the second down and Fred Winter runs through and hits my dude in the back, like hits him in the backfield. I'm like, I can't keep calling this. We all gonna holler about, oh, it's so predictable. It's a run play again. But it's like, man, sometimes you still got to be able to run the ball even when it is predictable. And we were not executing that. But that goes back to some of the matchup stuff. Armstead Hargrave versus our interior offensive line. They look like they won more of that than they lost, especially versus the run. And that was also reflected with Fred Winter and Dre Greenlaw and how they were able to just stay downhill and really just scrape to the ball freely, man.
Right. Gorilla mode feels like I just read that one. Sorry.
Should be an 828.
Didn't delete it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. 828 style. Says, bro, Niners came out on all Madden mode. We didn't. I'm over my frustration now, though. LOL. I'm just glad we lost to an NFC team out of conference.
Facts. And it was week 1. I would much rather us have the out of conference, everybody have a bad game and all this other stuff week 1 than it be late in the year or postseason. Get it out. Figure it out. We're going to talk about it. We might crucify certain people at certain times, but it's like, yo, get through this. And now when it's time, late in the year for us to be clicking, that's when we plan our best ball.
Bishop Walker, bench Adams, bring in Braden Fehoko. We might have to call him up anyway.
I was about to say with Cam going to IR.
It's supposed to be a specialty, a little run stopper.
No, we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm sure he'll if he's called up, it's potential, man. He can get in that action. Montravis, like I said, has to play better. It's not how I feel like people look at it in the sense of, oh, he's trash, he's weak. I told you, I look at it in the sense of that's a pride thing. You got to know when to sit on a bar stool, when to ultimately create a POW versus the double instead of keeping your pride and trying to stay up and now you're 5 yards downfield versus the double. It happens to any of those dudes. Cam Heyward it's happened to before. It's like, yo, when Cam has had them times where he's trying to stay up and fight versus the double, you're like, bro, all right, now, Cam, we got to get better here. It's just that it's not risk versus reward. It's the when do I concede? When do I say, all right, I'm not winning versus these two guys? Because it's not all the time. But it's a feel thing. And for Montravis yesterday, I thought his feel for that versus the double was just off. So
right. Harry Latch. I've been a Steeler fan since I was born. In the past year, I've defended Kenny to every one of my boys. Yesterday made me second-guess myself. Oh, come on. Then he says, Caleb time. Come on, bro. Is this TG's burner?
Low-key, right? Sheesh.
Is this TG's burner? Come on. No, I mean, that is happening right now. I'm seeing Caleb Williams jersey swaps out there.
Lord.
I mean, it goes hand in hand with the Fire Tomlin, Fire Canada.
Does, yeah.
Kenny ain't him. Danny Smith catches some strays too.
It's a wild one, bro. It's a wild one.
I can't take it seriously. I can't. Al Sauce. As much as the Steelers punt, I think there would be more scrutiny on the punting. Doesn't help the field position battle and doesn't help the defense 2 years in a row with the same issue. Man with two ends. Yeah. I think that's what he's going for there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, we got to be more consistent with certain elements of it, but I also think expectations have to be understood in terms of what the desired expectations are when we are sending our punting team out there in some of these situations. There is a lot of context that goes into that, and as we've talked about and highlighted plenty of times, not everybody understands that. A lot of people look at punting, they first thing they look at is, how far was the punt? Does he average 40 yards of punting? And it's like, if you're looking at that in Pittsburgh, you're looking at the wrong stat, because that is not what we are telling our punters to do here, and that has not been the message here for at least the past 7 years. It's all about location and hang time. Not always about distance, but there are parts where I've talked about earlier that, yeah, we do need to have better punts in those situations where Presley can actually be more aggressive because he is talented. But that's the part where I look at it and say you got to be more consistent there. I'm not tripping, though, with some of the, like with the punting situation as a whole here, because I know what we're actually trying to accomplish, and it's not talked about because it's special teams. And if we came up here and talk special teams all the time, y'all would not be tuning in, unfortunately. So, yeah, because Deke don't talk special teams. He don't like special teams either. You seen that look on his face. He ain't even do that. He was like, yeah, he ain't right about that. That's McFarland. What's up, McFarland?
Yeah. give me some of the good stuff.
Give me some of the good stuff.
8-2-8 style. Sometimes, no matter how you prepare for a team, if it's a team you play every 4 years, even though you know how they play, you still don't know how they play physically.
Hey, ain't that the truth? Because they were clearly more physical in all aspects for the 4 quarters, man. And I wonder, did that catch us off guard a little bit as well? That was a different type of hitting that was going on, man. You said you heard it. I seen that. I heard that. I was like, oh Lord. One hit, I jumped out my seat. I thought I got hit. The thing gonna hit sound so loud out there, man.
Yeah, I think they had some bulletin board material out there. A lot of people were talking the Steelers up as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think starting to overlook the 49ers.
Yeah,
myself included. I thought the Steelers were going to win this game. But, from a national media standpoint, the tide started to turn over the last month or so with the Steelers preseason and how we were looking there. And then with 49ers, the uncertainty of the whole quarterback carousel, Purdy, is he good, the surgery and whatnot, Bosa, the holdout. So, Kittle even, too, with the groin injury popping up. So, there's a lot of uncertainty with the 49ers.
I think people overlooked Ray McLeod was even fitting to play because he was supposed to be out with the broken wrist.
Okay.
Yeah. He came out there and he even gave them some excitement on returns and stuff
he
like
wasn't
that.
bad.
Shout out to Ray. I mean, Ray, we know Ray, right? We know that headband on the neck anywhere, man. Come on now.
But I think that was probably part of it.
Yeah.
But then on our side, we're just getting talked about so much in a positive way. I don't know if we thought we'd go out there first quarter and it's just going to be easy for us. Yeah, it's just going to be like the preseason. Look at us, 5 for 5 on the first series offense with the touchdowns and whatnot. So, hey, I mean, like we said, heat check moment, learning lesson, whatever, we move on. Al Manza Studio. Calvin Austin looked good. Definitely need to feature him more in the receiving game.
No, I liked him. I thought that he caught every pass he was supposed to catch, man. He took full advantage of zone concepts. Whenever the Niners specifically played him off coverage, he ate it up. He did exactly what he was supposed to. The times where I thought I still wanted to see more was when they would press up on him. That was where it would be times where I'm like, man, we got to get better at that. But for Calvin, man, he's a young player, man. Whenever you get out there, man, you take advantage of what you could take advantage of, and we'll learn the rest later. And right now, his job is be fast. That is the one thing that I'm going to consistently say is the best thing that he brings to the table right now. I know y'all go tell, he can route, da-da-da-da. That's all well and good, however y'all want to put it. The thing that I see from him is speed. You run as fast as you can this way, and if they press it, all right, if you beat it, great. But if not, we ain't tripping. If they give you any zone or anything where you free release, man, you eat that up every single time. And that's what he's been doing, man.
King Ray, so glad the so-called Steeler fans ain't in charge of nothing but running their mouths. We will be okay. It's week 1.
Relax, folks. Talk, King Ray. Talk, talk.
John Easton says 300 nosebleed seats. People in PA can't do it, but California people have money.
It was $300 for nosebleeds yesterday?
It might have been because
I know it was the
whenever
over
I
there.
checked a couple weeks ago, I mean, it was like 250 or something like that for 500. So it might have bumped up during game time.
Never mind that. 300 for the nosebleed. That's a little steep.
I think some people were selling the lower bowl for like 600-700.
What?
I think so.
I'm so
I think
out
I
of
saw
touch.
that.
Oh my gosh, I did not. All right, my bad. Maybe that. You know what? It's a lot of tech money out there in the Bay. Yeah, I can totally understand now why with so many California people out here. All right, yeah, clearly, yep. 600 for that boy. What to go to the
Donald Copeland's now saying 500 for nosebleeds.
Bro, what? What? Take the what and leave the what? What? For the upper room ones? The upper room all the way up there? I'm sorry. I'm with it. But man, I'm really surprised. I did not know that was the situation. Yeah.
Let's go. UW recommends bringing back Todd Haley ASAP.
Haley's in play right now. He's been down in the he's USFL, right? Yeah, because Hines and then we're XFL. So yeah.
Right, most recently.
Mm-hmm.
We got Red saying, I'm just here to see Deke's face after the top 3 QB fail.
Yeah, I did run into some people in the stands. They was like, yo, what's up with your boy Deke, man? Get top 3, bro. Gotta ask him on top 3. I was like, yo, just turn in, man. Just tune in, bro. Deke gonna talk about it. It's like, yo, man, we want to hear about the top 3 because
I'm not
he said
backing down.
top 3.
I'm not backing down.
Yeah. But they definitely
One
was at me,
game.
though. They was like, yo, tell him. We want to see what he got to say about the top 3, man.
That's what I'm saying.
What's up with his boy? Yeah.
I
There's
said
a lot
exactly
of that going on, bro.
It's one game.
Yeah.
Not backing down. Christian Matthias, hear me out. It's Matt Canada. He doesn't understand how to use the middle of the field. Why is Kenny forcing passes when wide open receivers are open? To me, it's Matt's offense design. Sits. Sick. Oh, he's saying sick of this shit. I think that's what he means by that.
Fair enough. All right. I don't want. I'll leave it alone. All good.
We got Logan Newman. Oh, come on. Oh, man.
Yo. This is an interesting one, Logan. Shout out to Logan Newman on this one. Yeah. Deke Lewis.
Logan Newman says in quotes with a phone emoji, Hey, Ben, you still in shape?
I mean, that is your guy.
I wasn't the one that got rid of Ben.
That's in the past. We talking about right now. You're the decision maker. It's 9/11, 2023. What decision you making?
What are we talking here?
What you gonna do, D? Huh? It's your team today, man. You run it how you want to run it. And you got an opportunity to call up in shape 7. Is that the guy you calling up? He coaching his flags. Is what? I don't know if they're playing tackle or not, but he's coaching his son's team, right? Yeah. Coach some youth football, something like that.
We're sticking with Kenny. It's not on. That's not about who I think would be better or anything. That's not about that. It's just I think that's the prudent decision to stick with Kenny.
So okay.
And I believe in Kenny.
So
Yeah.
you would take your feelings out of it and just go with you think this is the best decision for the team. Not
Yeah, and I
your
believe in Kenny.
personal
Like
interest. Okay.
I said this many times last year. Some of these hypotheticals came up like this, like Ben or Kenny for 2023 or whatnot, and like it's Kenny's time.
No, I like how you put it. So basically, you're saying that you take 2023 Kenny over 2023 Ben Roethlisberger. I'm not tripping on that. If that's your approach, man. You know that.
No, I'm not saying that.
That's what you literally just
I'm
said.
not saying
though.
that. I actually never answered that
Don't
one.
make it a negative. You just said
No.
you take a 2023 Kenny over 2023 7.
I'm not saying that.
You said what's best for the team.
No, I just think it's a prudent decision.
For the team.
Listen, man. If Ben's coming here, we are firing Matt Canada so fast. Hell, we could bring back Finkner for all I care. We're not running a Matt Canada offense with 7.
All good. I would just be wondering, man.
But, I mean, listen, man, I never got rid of Ben to begin with. Like, if it was up to me, he would be the quarterback right now.
Understood.
we would have never drafted Kenny. There wouldn't be any of this. But with the way everything has played out, I just made the top 3 call for Kenny. So, I feel like I'd be going against that in a way.
Especially after one game, bro.
And he's going to be the future of the team. He's supposed to be the franchise. So, that's where I'm getting with it. I mean, could Ben come back for 1 year right here and ball out and be better than Kenny? I'll just give you guys the Jordan shoulder shrug for that. But
I like it. I like it, though. I like your style.
Okay.
You never going to get your guy, man. Respect right there,
who?
baby. You won't going to let me just 2023 Kenny over 2023-7. You won't go there.
I can't do that.
He was like, I'm gonna say everything but
I'll
that.
give you the Jordan shoulder shrug for that.
He said, I give you everything but that answer right there. I can't give you that one.
Use your imagination of what I'd say to that. Well, I did. I guess, I gave you the Jordan shoulder shrug,
bro. Respect.
Well, I guess use your imagination on what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
There you go. Christian Matthias, I'm not done. Terrell Austin, why does the zone work so badly for him? How are receivers so open in the zone? This is the same look from last year. Zone to man, not a concept for him.
Talked about that a little earlier, man. With the zone, you're doing it to read the young quarterback's eyes. But at the same time, man, you want our guys breaking a little bit better. Just was not the day for that, man. As we talked about with the different formations, the different personnel groupings, whether that's Levi, whether that was Pat P at times in one-on-one out there, or those guys passing it to the safeties and stuff like that, and communication on some of this stuff, and you're seeing it happen. But the question is, how aggressive do you play that when you know what you could give up by being aggressive on some of that stuff? So for Terrell, I just think it was one of those things that you try to go zone, especially after Ayuk was having some of the success that he had earlier. And, you try to hope that this pass rush was going to be – because the pass rush at times was good. But just as a whole, we just needed more consistency. That, though, does bode a lot better in terms of pairing pass rush with the zone principles in terms of the off stuff that we were seeing yesterday. But like I said, man, when it's not doing what it's supposed to, it looks like how it looked yesterday, and that's ultimately why you feel how you feel, baby. So hopefully this upcoming week, that does get changed, though, man.
Tyler from the 334, bro, what's these loonies in the chat? Kenny had one bad game against the best D in the league. Niners were hitting hard. It was a humbling that we needed.
Thank you, Tyler. That's reasonable. That is very understanding. I don't think everybody always wants context and understanding. Sometimes people do just want, hot take or just a rash or just fly off, and it's like, I get that. There are some people that give you that. I just personally, that's not how I usually operate. That's all, baby.
Red says, Deke has the face of someone that saw reality.
Dang.
Might have just
don't put that on.
Might have just been my haircut.
Yeah, there we go. Maybe it was something he drank. All right, it was something in the water. Maybe it was that was.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were gonna be better. I mean,
yo, the disrespect. You about to read it?
What? Right here. Red. Hey, Deke, can you see if Shane Faldo is available?
Who's supposed to be saying Shane Falco?
Oh, okay.
From the replacements.
Okay.
Mr. Keanu
I don't know who that is either.
Keanu Roberts. Or I said Keanu Roberts. Yeah, it was Keanu Neal. Yeah. John Wick.
Is that one I gotta watch?
The Replacements is like a cool football movie. It's kind of like in the sense of like The Longest Yard. The Longest Yard, like it's one of them type of underdog. All right, we suck.
Did that QB suck or something?
The team, like the league was going on strike, so they called all these replacement players up.
Okay.
And Shane Falco was a dope like college dude, played well, and then he got something happened where he didn't get a chance. So this was like his new opportunity.
Okay.
He gets in though, and he like starts going crazy, gets hot, and then at the end it's like, all right, the big time quarterback is like pissed off because he's getting too big, so he's like, I'm gonna end my strike and I'm gonna come back early. Yeah, so it was like one of them type of things. But yeah, he wasn't the best.
Okay.
So,
Lou Boy, so 8 wasn't inaccurate last year. No, I'd say it was pretty accurate.
Down the stretch, I'm talking specifically in them last 7 games, I didn't think accuracy was an issue. Nah, I did not.
Yeah, there was a pass or two he missed on occasion.
Man, and that's the thing too. I think if you're trying to bring up, specific things, yeah, you can make a case for any of this stuff, right? But just simply ask yourself, are you trying to push a narrative? What are you trying to accomplish with what you're bringing up? Because the same way you're going to bring up a handful of passes that he might have missed, I can bring up a handful of throws that he made that were elite. So once again, if you're trying to make it about a narrative to say somebody is exclusively at fault or is exclusively the reason for yesterday's performance, I just feel like your energy is off. That's all, man, because it wasn't just a solo person. Wasn't. It was a lot of people that play for varying reasons, man. But I get why, you might want to feel some type of way about it, and rightfully so, man. Feel how you gonna feel. But I just think in terms of why we are talking how we're talking, it's because of the context part, not just the feeling or emotion part right now. That is definitely still heavy, man. We about to be 24 hours out of this thing. I guess now we're over a little bit 24 hours.
The Rebellion, I believe we have to emotionally be ready for Kenny to have a bad season just like Peyton Manning did in his 98 season. No.
Deke said he ain't going for that one.
No, because the so-called rebuild year, the learning year, was supposed to be last year. And I think for even this comment right here, Peyton Manning's bad season was his rookie year. Trevor Lawrence, his bad season, rookie year. Burrow's not that good of a season, rookie year. Yeah, it's a big year for Kenny. Like I'm not shying away from it at all. I'm not just gonna accept he comes out here, he plays bad, and, you know what I mean?
Oh, good, man. Hey, I look at the context of where is he in his progression? Did he play 17 games last year?
No.
Any of them dudes that, you brought up Peyton. Peyton was the week 1 starter, if I remember correctly. Trevor Lawrence was the week 1 starter. They had all offseason as the guys. Week 1, rookie year. When did Kenny even take over?
Sure.
So that's why when I think of not who's right or who's wrong, but just in the sense of, the whole Peyton Manning thing or even bringing up some of these other guys, I feel like we're still looking at Kenny in 2 different scopes. It's like, yes, we're acknowledging that you technically are still not even 17 games under your belt, but we're like, yo, second year leap, it's time. We can't skip some of that to get to this part either. But that's why I think it's like all of that is at play when we're watching Kenny. And that's why when you hear me and you talk versus how some of the fans might look at it versus how other media looks at it, it is like a weird scope that we're looking specifically at Kenny in right now, man.
That's a very fair point. It really is. But, yeah, I don't know. I just think this
stand on you because you put him at top.
Well,
3.
not only that, I just think the dude's ready. I just don't think some of this stuff's like too big for him. And at least worst case baseline of being able to lead this team to wins and take care of the ball. Like he showed he's capable of that for sure, right?
I would agree.
So we're talking about this year 2 jump and just getting better, being more in command of the offense. We saw all that in the offseason. So, even if it just goes back to, in a way, which is not necessarily what anyone wants, but the baseline of what he did second half of last year, we can win, and that could be still really good for this team.
Yeah.
Like, I actually thought that was going to be the formula early parts of the offseason.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to just jump off of what we were doing late in 2022 because it was working. Like, if we can open it up a little bit more, but let's do it, but I still think this can come down to running the ball, playing good defense. Kenny come up in the clutch or third downs, move the chains when we need it, and we could be a really good team. But from what I saw in preseason and all the stuff with training camp, letting Pickett sling it more, I was like, okay, this might be the direction too, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So either way, I just 2 interceptions for Pickett yesterday. Clean it up a little bit. That's all.
Yeah.
Clean it up. And I expect better days ahead. There's no doubt. Sal Mara, I think it's time for Moats and TG to come out of retirement, and Deke needs to be our OC. Boom, problem fixed. Big Deke energy.
I'm washed. I just want to let y'all know that I'm washed, bro. Deke, bro, you probably be cooking the OC, though.
Inside zone. That's what we'll be running. Some inside zone.
I thought you was more of an RPO guy, man.
No,
yeah, you like one of them RPOs.
Me?
Let me read it. All right, I like this one now.
Nah, I'm not big on that. Phantom TV, I stopped believing in Kenny after that punk fake.
Pump fake?
Yeah, he did like a body pump fake. It was a little odd. Did you see it?
I mean, I feel like, but I'm like, that's what y'all call it, the body pump fake. That's what you call it.
Yeah, it was just
weird.
He did his shoulders.
He
shimmied his whole shoulder, where it's like, I mean, we've seen with
Instead
Ben.
of doing it regularly.
Right. We've seen Ben literally like pretty much throw the ball, but somehow the ball was still attached to his hand. Those were Big Ben pump fakes.
Well, Big Ben.
I know where you're going.
I'm sorry, bro. You did it. You said it. I didn't say it. You said he could just do it and hold it with his hands. I didn't say that.
But I mean,
you said that. You said that.
People are bringing up stats and
you
facts.
You said
like,
that. I'm not doing that. That's what you said.
That's a fact.
You said that.
Big Ben,
you
bigger hands than Kenny.
That's what you said.
No?
That's all what you said. I'm not going there. I'm not doing that. That's what you said. You said he could, and you put emphasis on the hand. You look like, oh, I've seen all these fingers and all. He probably got 12-inch hands. I know he could just grab that thing. I ain't never seen a guy throw it and keep it and then bring it back and then throw it again. I get what you're saying, man. It just, the delivery was, whew, you was setting me up, man. Hey, I couldn't agree with that. I know, Kenny. It made me feel bad. I got to see it. Yeah, Kenny, I was laughing when Deke was talking about Ben's hand size comparison to your hand. That ain't a good look, man. That's not a good look.
I mean, they said Big Ben was the best like pump fake artist
yes.
in quarterback history.
Yes,
like,
because he was throwing it. He just had the God ability to just keep it in his hands, and that's why you hate it. It's like, yo, this isn't real, coach. I was not wrong for breaking on this pump. He was throwing the ball, coach. Okay? Yes, I left him because he was here. Okay? So, yeah.
Mr. Spacely. Moats, did you think Canada was using pre-snap motions like he was at TC?
Absolutely not. Training camp. That's I forgot who else brought that
I
up a little bit earlier.
I thought he meant Tequila Cowboy.
Oh, gosh.
He was calling the plays from Tequila.
We got a bad track record in Tequila Cowboy, man. The last OC. You heard what happened to the last OC there. Right. Stay up out of there, man.
Next, we have Kaza. It's personnel and OC thing. Naj went out and no McFarland. Calvin caught everything thrown his way, only to get 6 targets. Pat Frymouth even got a stinger and still no big 0 targets. Who to blame for personnel, Moats?
No, so some of that does go on coaching staff. Absolutely. We ain't shying away from any of that, man. And, yeah, once again, to act as if anybody is above being held accountable, I think that's also the wrong mindset. But it's not it's just on one person thing. So, yeah, when you want to talk about some of the personnel stuff, the base or easy, straightforward answer is, yeah. If I want this guy out there, I'm the coach. I get to say who goes out there. So, yes, that is on coaching. You can also play devil's advocate and say if that coach doesn't think that this player is ready to be out there, Broderick Jones versus Dan Moore, right? Is that on them for making that decision? Because if they put that player out there because as fans we think that this guy is cooler, faster, or whatever, but they know internally that he isn't ready or he's not as consistent or they can't trust it to the same extent, those are some of the things that kind of go with those decisions. But root answer to what you was asking, yeah, personnel is on coaching staff, 100%.
AJ Martinez, I'm not a man of this younger generation. The boss in my days was the boss, not a friend. We need to go back to 92 and 86. Hines Ward, mean Steelers.
I mean, there's multiple ways to have success. We've talked about that. Not everybody responds to that. Some people love that hard-nosed, old school, get in your face, dog curse you out. Other people will smack you and spit back in your face. That's all I'm saying, man. So you just got to be careful with that. These dudes get paid a lot of money. You ain't just talking to players like how they was talking to players back then. Because what these players get paid now, they move on from coaches before they move on from players. So that's one of them things that regardless of if we think it's the best going forward, that is something that these coaches have to adjust to. Heck, you listen to some of the stuff with Belichick since Brady has been gone. They've been adjusting to it. He's been adjusting to it. It's not this hard military. It's got to be my way or the highway. Even he's making some adjustments. So it's multiple ways to skin a cat. I feel bad every time I say that, but y'all catch my drift on that. But more importantly, man, yeah, I get the whole let's go back old school and hard, but I don't think that's sustainable. Shoot, you seen what happened to Singletary, and that was in the early 2010s when he was trying to take that hard school approach on dudes out there. That ain't for, everybody in this league, and especially, like I said, the more these guys get, the more money they make, the more entitled they feel, the more cachet they have within the organization. And we look and say, if I'm paying this dude $50 million, I'm paying this coach $4 million. Who is more important? And that's the reality of it, man. So, yeah, I feel like Coach Tomlin does a great job, though, in terms of still having a pulse on it and still being able to get guys to respond.
Question, how we looking here for you?
If we, I mean,
650?
I'm gonna at least see what we had at 7 and see how many we got left.
Okay.
You know? How many we got left.
Anthony Sixto, most seasons, week 1 feels like a distant memory. Disconnected from the reality of midseason. A lot of negative, but shout out to McFarland on the returns, Austin showing flashes, and Watt still being Watt.
No, I agree with that. I think that's a good perspective on that.
I do too. That's a good point. Midseason, I mean, we'll be like, week 1, what? Corey and I, our defense was absolute trash, except for TJ, obviously. And our O-line was probably worse than what it was last year. It was horrific to watch.
Nah, man, it was definitely a bad game from all them dudes, man. But at the same time, as we talked about throughout the show today, wasn't as bad. At the same time, wasn't as good in certain elements. But still some room for optimism. And that's ultimately what we're going to be leaning on with this thing, man.
828 style, we need to stop blaming Canada and start asking ourselves if TA is a legit DC. I haven't been impressed with him yet. The D is more than our O does, and even if we start slow on offense, the game should have been closer.
You bring us some good points right there. I ain't tripping on it, and I do feel like it's legitimate to ask them type of questions with Terrell. But at the same time, man, I feel like all right, we'll see what this year looks like. I'm excited to see what this year looks like from him as a whole.
Yeah.
That's my thing, man. We'll see what this specific year right here looks like for TA for that defense in terms of how we view him as the coordinator with it, man.
Right. Good point. I mean,
and I want to see him healthy too, because we know last year, man, it was some variables out there. We know that offense last year, especially in the first half, it was some variables out there. This year, I look at all them coaches, all of this as like, man, there is no more of that type of stuff. The context, there is no
Cam's
more. Like,
now. No, but
you catch my
we
drift,
were
man.
talking about
It's
the
like,
offense
bro,
improving end of last year. The defense did too, and I think TJ Watt being back
it was a big
decent,
part of that.
Yeah, it was a decent part of it. But I thought the defense was playing fine in those wins.
Yeah,
for the most part. Steeler Nation on fire. Even though Dobbs lost, he had a good game.
Talk about it, baby. Shout out to my dog Dobbs out there, man. Say, man, I just like his game, man.
I might need to check it out.
He's a scrappy fella.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
828 Star, I have so much to say, but I think it's time to hand wifey my phone. LOL. But Mike T ain't going to stand for this, so I'm sure the Browns are in trouble. Hashtag here we go.
No, facts, man. He's definitely not standing for this, man. But this is also a young team that we are finding out how they're going to handle adversity. It's the first adversity that we are going to see from the 2023 version of the Steelers. There wasn't really adversity in the preseason. We talked about that. This is adversity. How do they handle it? How do they respond? We're going to find out, man.
Yeah. Boss Leprechaun, tough game. Kenny looked rough, but it's just the first game. Also wondering what the situation was on the franchise league. Is there any room for an Apple Podcast guy? Yeah, definitely. DM me on Instagram or Twitter. Say you were Boss Leprechaun from today in the super chat. And yeah, we'll try to get a spot for you. It is PS5. I'm guessing you know that for making this comment. But that would be the way, because we definitely do have some openings.
Shout out to the
a lot of people did hit me up last week, so we did get podcast people already in. I think there are some more that I got to figure out, because I even saw a comment in today's chat. He was asking. So that goes for you too, whoever that was. Just reach out to me, DM, say like I'm from the podcast.
Yeah,
I want to join.
All right, Boss
PS5.
Leprechaun. That's the info right there, Boss Leprechaun. And appreciate you being, that was your first super chat as well, man. So from the heart, definitely appreciate you.
Christian Matthias, the one thing about Bill Cowher was if there was a team that had our number, that was it for them by the next meeting. Bill Cave, Tomlin, Dick LeBeau, Canada, Terrell, what have they done not to be fired?
No, man, talk to Mr. Rooney about that, man. I've given you my context of how I view their scenarios.
He's talking about Tomlin's coaching tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I did see a tweet that said if Matt Canada had a good year, he'd be in a position for some head coaching interviews potentially.
Oh, Lord. Well, people like offensive guys, and that's the other part.
Steeler Lee, that would be a great problem to have. If Canada is up for head coaching spots, I think we won the Super Bowl.
And then if his replacement was not what he was, then we'd be complaining about that. I was here when they didn't want Haley anymore. I was here when they didn't want Fichtner. And now here we are with Canada. So it's just like, you know how that go, baby.
Colton Troy Fu. What's your handle? So I could look out for it then.
Yeah, he said your DM don't work.
He says, yeah. Well, I may have not. I don't know what his handle is. So I would recognize if he sent it as like Colton Troy Colton Troy Fu.
But
or
if
something.
it's not that, then you're not going. Yeah.
So maybe it was.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, I didn't think it was him that reached out to me. So I gotta. Yeah, I need to know his tag. Steeler League. When does Austin start to get some blame?
No, he's been getting some blame.
Oh, he's getting heat right now, huh? This is like 3 or 4 comments in a row.
Yeah, he gets heat. Like I said, though, if you want to make it about a witch hunt or a narrative or we're going to isolate this particular player or coach, I just told you, I don't think that's, what's going to get you what you're looking for, ultimately. But that's all too why I'm not going down that road with you. And if you feel that strong about the person, man, it's not on me to talk you out of it. I just give you my perspective on it. Deke give his perspective on it. We kind of talk about it together. But, man, if you feel that strong about any of this stuff, man, it ain't that deep to me. It's cool, baby. Believe it until you don't want to believe it anymore. I just give you my insight on it, man.
And at least next week, we can't look any worse than that.
At least I hope not. But you saw what Dallas and the Giants looked like last night. The Giants was looking bad, bro. I ain't feel like we was that bad. I'm just throwing it out there. I ain't feel like it was that bad.
Definitely not.
So
let's go, UW. Cam is getting surgery, out 8 weeks. Yep.
Yeah, that definitely sucks.
We got Christian Matthias saying, Moats, how do you not scheme out of that? Canada.
I don't even know the question. Like,
so I'm on offense with our scheme.
Huh?
Got to scheme out of it.
Scheme out of it. All right. Yeah.
828 style. Almost forgot. Had to get the phone back. Appreciate the picks, Moats, and for the culture. Oh, yeah, Deke. Tua, don't miss down the middle. Tyreek beat clowning receivers. It looks like they run the same play. 2,000 might not be impossible.
Yeah. Tua for MVP?
I can't say that. I cannot.
Well, if you can't, I definitely ain't even thinking that.
No, it's not even on my radar. 828 style. Don't forget Washington's pancake on Bosa.
Yeah,
I mentioned it, right?
Oh yeah. You said that early too. Yeah, that was fire.
Captain Insano, celebrating my 25th B-Day down in Houston today, but I'm hoping we bounce back for week 2 for when I go to that Monday Night Football game. Let's
go. And happy birthday as well, Captain Insano. Absolutely, man. But yes, we definitely need to bounce back in prime time.
03 man 11 says massive talent gap. Deontay Pickens, Najee Muth are not Ayuk, Debo, C-Mac, and Kittle. We definitely don't have their offensive line. We should manage expectations better. Steeler Nation, we were delusional.
I don't say delusional, but what I will say is when you talk about everything you just named, it was kind of what we said at the beginning of this thing. Theirs are more proven. Ours are what we think can grow to that. Some people might think that they're already there, but that to me is, a lot of the difference in between the two. Very similar, but those dudes are proven.
Remix. Yeah, this was the comment I was talking about. He said, Deke, I messaged you on Instagram about the league. Hope it was your real one. But yeah, what's your handle? I'd probably even got to see if Colton Troy Fu.
What's your real
Colton
name?
Troy Fu say anything?
And not your name. Yeah, he said at Kingdom_Hawaii.
Okay, cool. I remember that. But same with Remix, too. If you want to put your actual tag in the chat, I'll know to look for it. He says, what's the number one thing you guys think the offense need to work on? And then he's saying Syracuse over Pitt. No.
To me, man, number one thing is just, can you make the throws you're supposed to make? You make a couple of them throws, man, I think it's a totally different ball game. That's literally where I'm at with it for the offense, man.
Execute, yeah.
No.
Let's go, UW. Did y'all see DraftKings 9/11 special bet of the 3 NY teams winning? Shaking my damn head.
I did not.
3 New York teams. How's that work?
Because
there's only 2 in the league. What's the other one he's talking about?
Technical's only 1 in the league. But if you want to say there are 2 by name, you could say the Jets and the Giants. But if you say 3, then you say Buffalo. But Buffalo and the Jets play each other, so you can't have a bet where they would both
that's what I'm saying. What am I missing here?
Did the Yankees play?
Maybe that.
Or the Mets?
Yeah, maybe that's what they were doing. Well, yeah, probably. Maybe there was the 2 baseball teams, and then yesterday. Giants. Oh, wait, Giants got
for
smoked.
last night, yeah.
And they got smoked.
All right, so it had and it's 9/11, so it had to be baseball today with Jets tonight. Has to be.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yankees, Mets, and Jets.
There we go. All right.
Sean McCartney. If preseason's offense was vanilla, then this was unflavored.
Yeah.
Everything we thought was special about this team was a lie. They didn't come to play.
I wouldn't say it's a lie. I will say they didn't come to play, though. Definitely got caught off guard. I thought that they just didn't match San Fran's intensity early on. And before you know it, you look up, and it's, you down 3 scores, and we playing catch-up versus a team that you don't want to be playing catch-up against, man. That is what they do extremely well over there. So, yeah. But, yeah, I was really surprised with that. That, to me, was, one of the things that, in terms of Canada, you got to be better with that. What's the point of having that in the repertoire when, as a defender, we know the challenges that presents for you to not call it, in a game like that? So,
Jonathan McDormand is saying DraftKings had to apologize for that.
Dang.
I guess people got mad over that. Tone deaf, maybe?
I would have. Bro, you can't have it called an I-11, especially you go 3 New York teams. That's hot, bro. You're hot.
Yeah, I could see that. The intention was probably good, but
the execution terrible.
Yeah, I could see people complaining about that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's when you do. I was like, yeah.
They were definitely going for a patriotic feel of like we overcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes you sit that one out. Just set that one out right there. That's all. Just set that one out.
It took a swing. Lou Boy, I see why that guy let 8 go and took his car instead.
They say Kenny was looking like he drive Genesis yesterday, man, and not Bentleys. It's crazy.
Christian Mathias, I'm doubling down. The play calling is not capable to play with a high-caliber team. He's responsible for designing a winning game plan. He's the issue.
Winning game plan and being able to play with high-caliber teams are 2 different things. Winning game plans were what we saw the last half of the season last year. So what are you specifically asking for? Winning game plan or an offense that can go out there and score with high-caliber offenses? Because that's the whole high-caliber thing, is they score a ton of points. But we've seen teams score a ton of points and lose games even last year. So which one are we looking for specifically? Winning game plan or just score a ton of points game plan? Or try to keep it with these high-powered offense game plan? That's all.
I like winning games.
That's my thing.
And it could be through points or not as many points. I don't care.
Because if you play keep up with the Joneses, which is what it sounds like you're trying to do, right? They scored 30. I want us to score 30. That's cool.
Although it felt like defenses were up week 1. A lot of more low-scoring games than what you usually see in week 1 in the past.
Shoot, the Cowboys scored a ton, largely because of how many turnovers their defense was creating, man. So, yeah.
So it's at 7:02. Probably got like 15.
All right, let's keep powering. We can do this.
Okay.
We can do this.
Scott Fordor, let's be real. These are fans trying to fire Tomlin after wins. Or there are fans trying to fire Tomlin after wins.
Exactly.
Not into firing Canada yet, but wouldn't be surprised seeing Sullivan play calling in week 7.
No, if we get to think about week 7, I said week 5. I don't even want to go that far.
That's if
right.
We're still
but
bad.
It has to continue to look like yesterday.
Still being bad, yeah.
Yeah, if it would have been like that, you think they would even brought him back if they thought that was going to be the case? Absolutely not, man.
Sean McCartney, the 1-6 start last season.
Excuse me.
The season we lost Big Ben for the season. The whole TikTok locker room stuff. We never played that bad during all that. I would disagree. That someone brought up that Bengals game from 2021. I think that was bad. Yeah, there were some bad ones in Big Ben's last season. Like, remember the Vikings?
They were on the road. Everything.
The
was on
Vikings'
the road,
first half where we were down like 28-0
until they killed.
But then second half was going off.
Yeah.
There was a Chiefs game in Ben's last season.
Playoffs, but it was on the road.
No. I'm not. Well, that was bad too. But even the one in the regular season.
I don't even remember the regular season one. You're probably right though.
I think the regular season was worse actually than the playoff. But like the playoff was weird because the first quarter was good.
It was hot.
Second half got out of hand and then it was stupid. I would disagree. I mean, this was bad. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but I don't think it was as bad as those other ones because some of those other ones you're like questioning effort and like, are these dudes willing to tackle on defense? Like they were gashing us. Whereas, all right, Levi Wallace missed a tackle and McCaffrey was able to take it. It wasn't like multiple dudes like some of those other times in 2021. Colin Cooper, I simply think we were outmatched. No need to panic. However, it was discouraging not to see more fighting in this group. It was more frustration, and it showed.
Colin, that can definitely be the case, man. We've talked about their cast of characters versus our cast. It could be simply as that. You heard when I broke it down of Hargrave, Eric Armstead versus James Daniels, Mason Cole, and Isaac Seumalo. If we're taking jerseys off and we're strictly just going off of name and accolades, would we be surprised if we were to say that the D-line had success against the O-line? No, we would not. It's just we were black and gold, so we kind of view it a little bit differently before it happens. But that, I don't hate that analogy, man. The outmatch part, I don't hate that. Don't kill me for saying that now, but I don't hate that.
Karma God 91, we down bad when we seeking comfort and the Bengals losing. Comparing Kenny stats to Joey B's, SMH.
Thank you. And we don't need to do that. We don't keep up with the Joneses, man. Just lock in right here, man. I did see that, though. We ain't got to feel bad. You see what happened to Joe Burrow? You saw his stats. It could be worse. We could have a Joe Burrow quarterback. It's like,
I don't think they were going that approach. More just like, Kenny's still good. Like,
I hope so, because
I think it was less about tearing down
seen
Burrow.
the one where they was like, bro, it could be worse. We could have a $60 million quarterback that threw for 80 yards.
That is kind of funny, but
I was like, oh, that's the approach.
No. I think they they were just going for other quarterbacks, particularly good quarterbacks.
We need some
particularly good quarterbacks had bad games in week one, and we have a good feeling that Joe Burrow will right the ship. Like, let's
see. You're giving context at the end. They didn't give all that at the end.
Let's see Kenny do a similar thing, especially if you thought Kenny was going to be good before week one. Like, there's no reason for one game to
change you. To that extent.
Have you flip the switch on that? Rod just dropped in a shout out to my favorite duo. We going 16-1.
Let's go.
That's fair. It's 16-1 time, baby.
Come on, man. It's all on the table.
Ryan McPherson, man, AB had me SMHing on Cameron's show today, telling Mike T to get out of the Steelers because they don't treat anyone right, allegedly.
Shout out to AB. I saw he had a concert. I like his tweet. He said how he usually gets to have fun with, the biggest fan of his shows. And in the video, it was just dude at the show. It's like, man, maybe they was in the back. Maybe I couldn't see the fans that you was referring to. But the fans that I saw in this video was all dudes. Some of them even look like you. Not all the way like you, but like your age group. I'm like, all right. I don't think those the fans that maybe. I don't know. But that's what he said, and that's the video he posted. I'm just going off of what he said. So that was how I felt about the AB just general. I'm just rolling with it.
Let's go, UW. RC even said the Steelers have no identity anymore.
After one game, it's easy to say that, but that was not what everybody was saying 2 weeks ago. Heck, even RC, Dan, all else them dudes on them show, they was just saying something totally different a week ago. We understand that when a team loses in the fashion that the Steelers did in week one, this is the overcorrection to the convo. Oh, everybody's giving them love, so now we got to go extra hard on them to change that narrative and create this. Like, no, this was what it was, but this still is right here isolated, man, in contrast to some of the stuff that we have been seeing.
We got Devontae Foreman. How does the D-line survive without Cam, arguably the best interior D-lineman in the league? We saw how bad we were last year without TJ. It's got to be Keanu Benton season.
Yeah, man. Dude's going to have to step up. Whenever somebody goes down, man, you're going to get new opportunities. And that's the one thing that I do like about here. We talk next man up. We say it for a reason.
Second round pick.
It's plenty of people that don't get an opportunity until somebody gets hurt. I never get a chance to play here if Jarvis didn't get hurt, just because of how the rotation was. Jarvis get hurt, gave me opportunity. Multiple people have had opportunities come from a guy that was a starter or a high pedigree guy, ultimately going down with injury. It just gives dudes opportunities. Heck, James Harrison doesn't get a chance to be James Harrison if Joey Porter doesn't go, play Rock'em Sock'em in the intro or pregame warm-up versus Cleveland. From there, Debo get out there, goes crazy, and now we talk about the rest being history. Sometimes you just need opportunity, baby. So I look at this as an opportunity, man. Who's going to emerge? Who's going to take this opportunity and make the most of it? Because if you do, man, they pay really well for you now, I tell you that.
Juby28, this is a good one right here, and I think you'll like it too. 03 Pats lose season opener 31-0 to the Bills, but then won the Super Bowl going 14-2.
Yes, I'm very much familiar with that. Shoot.
So that's a good example right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
heck yeah. I can tell you one time, I think it was 12. 12, they got cooked by Buffalo too, and then they went on to kick a lot of butt that year too, man. It happens. Yep, they are one of them ones like that.
Colton Trafu, he says, did I miss how to get in the league if that's on the list? All right, I already talked to him about that.
Yep, so we're good there.
Scott Foradora, looking forward to the rematch in February. Let's go.
Let's go.
Could
Plenty
happen.
of people do have the Niners as Super Bowl favorites coming out of the NFC.
Yeah, I mean, they
That-
confirmed
yeah.
top 2 team in the NFC between them and the Eagles, I think, right now.
I would agree.
I guess Cowboys are kind of putting their hand. If their defense could keep playing like that.
Was that their defense or was that the Giants offense? A
Well,
little bit of both?
yeah.
A little bit
Yeah.
of both.
Black Lavender, in other words, Rick and I will work on the league. Oh, yeah, that's a fair point. That's one of the mods.
Oh, okay.
Him and Rick on the sticks.
Gotcha.
They set up the franchise for me. I'm not even in the league yet, but I'm
That's
going.
how you know you big time.
I'm going live tonight. I'm getting in the league. We're gonna figure this out, and they're probably gonna do a lot
You're
of
going live tonight with Monday Night Football?
Yeah.
It's a game tonight, though, bro.
it. Yeah, I told you I might tune in.
It's game day.
I might tune in. Get some scouting.
We played the Jets this year? Oh, you were a playoff.
We might see either team in the playoffs. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. But, yo, it's a big game tonight, man. Just remember that.
Let's go UW. So, slight concern for the next 8 weeks without Cam. We are playing teams with pretty good running games and good backs. Keanu Benton season.
Keanu, Fioku. Somebody said that right.
If we call him
Braden
up, yeah.
Fioku. Yeah. Like I said, we're anticipating.
Wait. Now I'm seeing on ESPN bottom ticker.
Return unknown, right? You saw the same thing I saw?
Jeremy Fowler.
So
Are we sure about this 8 weeks thing? Either way, if 8 weeks is the worst,
And this
I
is
think we can
definitely
manage.
live right now because they're doing all the pregame Monday Night Football stuff right now. So, yeah.
We can manage. Sean McCartney might just be a bad mix of young team with new additions versus the top defense and of offensive weapons. I don't think coaching can help one team that's getting better versus an already proven team.
That is a context that I do kind of lean towards. After rewatching it, being in the stadium, talking about it, I do feel like they're just two different stages. One is coming out of playing in the NFC Championship. The other, we were talking about creating pressure situations at the end of the season, trying to act like these were, those same type of games. So it's a lot of that at play also, man.
Karma God 91. The defense couldn't stop our mothers from whooping our ass when we were younger yesterday. LOL.
God. Yeah, that's a bad feeling too. When mama get on you, ah! Now I used to get that. I used to get the double bank because I was a little big. So like, I thought it was cool that my mom beat me. You ain't done, mom. That's it, mom. I ain't even tired. That ain't hurt. Until Pops came through, I was like, oh, that was Robin. That's Batman that just showed up. Yeah. You learn. Like, all right, you better cry every time.
Billy Metellus. We got bullied. I believe Fehoko and Watts should be active at the expense of Adams and Loudermilk. What do you think?
Not necessarily Loudermilk. I thought that he was straight at times. I just think that Loudermilk is just young. Adams, I got talked about with him, man. I just think that he has to understand when to give up on a play, as in sit on the bar stool, cause the pile, versus when to keep fighting. He identifies that. I think he's fine. Or he'll be a lot better. Excuse me.
Zay Breezy, bro, I get it's Overreaction Monday, but we got to relax. We move on from it. Don't forget. Bad on all parts, coaching, OD. We didn't come ready.
But you called it Overreaction Monday. Be like that.
I don't know if I've ever heard an overreaction like this early in the season, like what we're getting today.
It's because the expectations were too high for people. So when the expectations were not lived up to after all the optimism and the hope surrounding the team, especially after how last season
fire
was.
Tomlin after week one. Fire Canada after week one. I get the fire Canada one, I guess, but
and even the Kenny part. It's
right. Kenny, the tank for Caleb Williams are saying.
Like, I just think like people walked into that game versus the Niners with this level of expectations, and what they saw kind of put them back like, oh my God, I'm sick. Is this not? Are we not? And when they get to that, that's when they started looking for all kind of crazy answers, man.
I think you got to just understand it's football too. Like I was very optimistic. Obviously, I thought we were going to look like a different team. I thought Kenny was going to play better, this and that. But it's still football. I mean, I've been through this rodeo. I've watched how many NFL seasons, like to know that things can turn around very quickly. And week 1 is definitely not the end all be all.
Yeah.
The furthest thing from it, in fact.
I'm with you, bro.
Week 1 is the first thing from the regular, like the end of the regular season.
I'm with you.
Absolutely says bring back 7 or tank for Caleb. I understand one of those options.
The Caleb part, I can dig that. I just don't want to tank though.
No, not that option. But again, listen, man. If it was up to me, Ben would still be here. Let's give Kenny his rightful due.
Oh, Deke, I see light at the end of the tunnel too, bro. We almost at the bottom of these of these supers,
you want me to go quick?
We almost there, baby.
Jared Smith, Kenny will be a top 3 QB. Burrow had an off game and is widely regarded as a top 3 QB. I see no difference.
Is that your burner account? Who is that? When you start going by Jared.
That's a good way to put it.
When you start going by that sound real Deke-like right there, man. That's Deke math. I don't know how you be mad for your math, but you be mathing, you making them numbers work, Deke. And you definitely just made them work.
Mike Hood, people need to chill. I get it as a fan, but how does this happen? On the other hand, Moats taught me context. But 7th rounder cooked us. I'm trying. See, all right, hold on. I'm trying to let it bake though, and we'll see. Just hard to digest. Now, the 7th rounder thing. If there was a redraft, Purdy would go in the 1st round.
Very true.
It's one of those. Tom Brady was a 6th rounder.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott 4th round. It's like once you're in the league though, and prove you can play in the league.
Once you prove it, you proved it.
Forget about where they were drafted.
We don't look at James Harrison in year 10 talking about
Undrafted.
this is an undrafted free agent cooking you. No, that's James Harrison cooking you, bro. And I'm with you, Deke. Prior to that, I still have my skepticism about how well Purdy could play in his growth and stuff like that. Yeah, it's hard to really feel that strongly against him and talk about 7th round and all that after what you've seen full body of work and starting out year 2 versus what we know is a good defense. I'm not about to say that like our defense is not going to be a good defense this year, but Purdy did do some positive things out there, man. So we can't minimize him as a player solely because he was a 7th rounder a year ago, because we've seen now that he is playing way better than the 7th round. I mean, it's no different even Dak Prescott.
There's a reason they got rid of Trey Lance.
Right.
Yeah,
like all of these dudes, man. There's a reason why Sam Darnold, a former 1st rounder, has not beat him out either. That's
they said definitively
part.
too.
Okay,
like, we are starting Purdy. No controversy. None of that. Working out with Parkinson's. Come on, Steeler Nation. It's one game. The world isn't ending because of this one loss. He hasn't played a full season yet. Why so harsh?
No, I salute that, man. I agree 100%. And shout out to you if you truly are working out with Parkinson's, man. I know that could be really challenging, man, but salute you on that, man. And nothing but positive energy and love your way, baby.
Steeler Nation on fire. At least the Steelers didn't get blown out like the Giants.
I swear, that's how I felt, bro. It got to the point I'm like, yeah, Danny Dimes, I know you trying to show pride and stay out there, but they about to kill you, bro.
Yeah, you should be feeling way worse if you're a Giants fan. You just paid Danny Dimes $40 million a year and you got that.
They got O-line issues too, because I do feel like
they don't have any receivers either. Receivers are terrible. Christian Mathias. Okay, I'll go positive. Bosa was handled. Kittle had nothing. Debo in check. Bengals lost. Patriots lost. Tom Brady is fruity. Fire Canada.
How Brady catches straight. God. Brady just got it. They waived we're going to wait to induct you in our Patriots Hall of Fame, and they're doing him next year.
Wait, Brady? I thought they just had a ceremony for him week 1.
Yeah. It was to say that they're officially inducted him into the 2024 class.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Did he sign like a 1-day contract with him or something?
I don't know. He put the jersey on, but they were like, yeah, we usually have a rule, and we broke that. So I want to see, do you think we'll switch our rule up for 7?
What, get him in earlier than the 5 year? Is it a 5 years wait time for our Hall of Honor?
Yeah, we have a 5-year. I think that's what New England had too, the 5.
I mean, it'd be the right thing to do, but
I mean, if you're gonna do it for anybody, I would say him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been on record saying we need to retire that 7 jersey number.
Yeah.
As soon as possible, and I'm not opposed to throwing 12 with that.
Yeah.
Do 7 and 12 same time.
Yeah. Like I said, if we're gonna do it, I feel like that's the type of dude. Yeah. But when I saw Brady, I was like, yeah. If you're going to break the rule for somebody, he's definitely the player.
Yeah, I think so.
Heck yeah. Yeah. I don't hate that at all.
Jashad says, Deke, I told you Kenny's arm is weak. Just kidding. But how do we win more than 5 games at this rate? And what's your guys' reaction during the game? Well, I was just on my couch pissed off.
Yeah, I ain't going to lie to you. During the game, I said, man, once I got done with like my media obligations, I said I'm gonna need to add me some more research to my equation. My crossfade balance wasn't crossfaded enough, Deke. So yeah, I went ahead and added 24 to the party, and yeah, it made me feel a lot better in that fourth quarter. Cause yeah, I was not feeling it.
You just started thinking, oh, that's one game.
Yeah, it just changed my whole perspective. I started getting real laughy, real joke. Ha ha ha! You know how that go? Yeah. Because prior to that, I'm like, bro, I'm about to lose my mind up here, and I didn't want my son to see me like that. He was like, I don't think he ever seen me get a little hot. I'm like, man, dude, what we doing out here, man? It was pissing me off. And then them 49er fans in the Dagon Stadium talking. I'm like, bro, what are we doing? And it's hot. I'm sweating. My we losing like piss, man.
Right.
Sitting in the Dagon sun. Supposed to be shade out there. Supposed to be raining. There ain't well nothing out there, man. And y'all could do that. Yeah, Deke. I was feeling that way. Yep.
Late Night Snack says, we just got a young team who thought we were it after a good start. A lot of the league looked off in week 1. I believe in Coach T and our veterans to get us in the right direction. Mm-hmm. Opportunity to lock in.
Facts.
And last one, I think.
I believe you are actually
AJ Martinez. Right. And he's complimenting me. He says, damn, Deke, your new look will get you a lady quick. We'll see.
Is Deke on the market looking for that? Is Deke out here hunting? Or is Deke just chilling? Oh, he say outside. He say outside then. All right. Well, hey, man. Y'all heard him, ladies. He's outside. He's available to you if you're interested. I'm not. Okay? I'm very committed and very married. So please don't send nothing this way. Send it all to Deke, though. Don't send nothing over here. All right. But with that being the case,
good show.
It was a heck of a ride today, Deke. Heck of a ride, man. We got through the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Shout out to DraftKings once again, man. Use the promo code Moats whenever you're using them. And all that info is in the description box. But either way, man, we definitely appreciate y'all, man. Y'all know we back out here Wednesday, man. Keep it rocking with us. I know we got a lot of new people popping up now that it is the season here. It is week 1. Once again, this is how we do it, all right? Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, 4 o'clock. This how we roll, all right? So y'all hit that like button one more time. Don't forget to subscribe on the way out of this thing. Y'all stay safe out there. And until next time, baby.
Peace.